Did I stutter?
He has time, launches it to the end zone. Touchdown! Terrence Williams!
But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
The 2011 winner of the Heisman Trophy is Robert Griffin III, RG3!
Welcome to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
Langoliers, base hit to center, and the Baylor Bears win their first Big 12 tournament championship.
Their fat little girlfriends are telling them what they want to hear, which is how great you are.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Call us on the Impact Health Labs caller line at 254-339-1122.
Hello?
You play to win the game.
Yep, just ready for OU.
You can't handle the truth.
Here's Drake Toll.
Let's go! Bringing it into the Petty Clinic Low T Bears Den for your Monday. I'm Drake Toll. That's JD Piquel. Armstrong Sims is running the production. It is Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
Bring it.
It is up-tempo. It is Kansas Baylor. The number one, the world lead in pole vault. Casey Lightfoot wearing a Baylor jersey.
It's about to go down.
Come on. We got a whole jam-packed show today. 3 hours of the Blonde Boys. Blonde Boys Power Hour times it by 3. I'm Drake Toll. That's JD Piquel, Armstrong Sims. How about this? Casey Lightfoot, world lead, breaks, smashes the collegiate record in Lubbock this weekend at the Corky Classic. He's going to join us live on the show at 11:15 today to break it down for us after he just broke the record and now has the world lead.
Fresh off a SportsCenter top 10. What was he, number 8 on the top 10?
Number 8.
I'm watching TV late at night, SportsCenter top 10, number 8. Casey Lightfoot with the world lead.
A Baylor Bear.
The young buck. You kidding me? And he's coming back on up-tempo.
And he's an up-tempo guy.
He's coming back on up-tempo.
He's an up-tempo
What
guy.
else do you need to know? Turn on Roku right now if you don't have it already.
You've got a Roku, you've got a YouTube Live,
Boom.
you've got Twitter, you're watching on Twitter, and you're like, oh my gosh, I want to scroll off. I want to go do other stuff and look at other stuff. But you can't. You can't. So you got to go to YouTube Live.
Do it.
You got to go to your Roku.
Do it.
You got to go to Spotify.
Do it right now.
We're not on Spotify. That was a joke. See,
We're on Spotify.
Our podcast is on Spotify.
Our podcast is on Spotify.
We are in podcast one, right, Armstrong?
Yep.
He's nodding. That's a yes.
Armstrong don't lie now.
How about this? Baylor and Iowa State. The women fall this weekend, battling COVID, battling depth issues.
Such an asterisk next to that, right? I mean, if Baylor's fresh, I think we all agree the game is different. We hope that game's different.
This is true to an extent, but at the same time, you can't be like then you have to make an excuse for every loss for every team as an asterisk loss.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you can give it an asterisk because everybody's going through it right now, but obviously you're missing 2 of your best players in Dejanay Carrington and Caitlin Bickle, and things don't go your way at home against a really good Iowa State team.
Yeah.
They had practiced. The Baylor squad had practiced one time prior to that game, and it was the day of the game.
Yeah. The equivalent of not studying for a test until the day of the test. And as someone who has done that, who's made a living off of that, who graduated from college.
You went to Cornell.
I did, but it's hard to do that and be able to do that consistently. I had to study a few more days in advance, and I got confidence in the Lady Bears. They'll be all right in the long run. They'll figure out some study habits and hopefully be able to practice with more consistency.
On the other side, the Baylor men beat Texas Tech 68-60 this weekend in Lubbock. A road victory against a top 15 team, coming off a game in which Tech beat Texas in Austin. The Baylor Bears take them down.
That game made me a little bit nervous. It made me a little bit nervous throughout the duration of the game. It made me nervous. Mac McClung, one of the best players in the country, in my opinion, if not one of the best, one of the most exciting players in the country. Jared Butler, who is, as a matter of fact, one of the best players in the country, did not play like it, but Baylor still found a way to get it done. Davion Mitchell, known for his defense, had 19 points. A lot of guys stepped up for the Bears, and that's huge. To have one of your best players essentially be scoreless until 6 minutes to go in the game, and to still be able to pull out a tough road win against a top 15 team, nothing to shrug your shoulders at. That's good news for the Bears going forward.
He finished with 7, hit a couple of big threes there late in the game. How about this, too? If you're a betting man, oh, my goodness, taking Baylor negative 3.5 on minus 3.5, minus 3.5 on Saturday against Texas Tech. What did we say?
Who called that?
What did we say?
Who called that?
We said Baylor by 8 on the road against Texas Tech. And what happened?
Drizzy does a lot of things, but he
Shorty
doesn't
can sit on my
miss.
lap.
He doesn't miss.
They say and Drizzy just snapped.
Drizzy don't miss.
Come on.
I
Baylor by 8, 68-60 in Lubbock. A busy weekend in sports. In tennis, the men's tennis team capturing 2 victories over Lamar and Abilene Christian, 7-0, 6-1.
Yep.
The women's team says, Prairie View A&M, you're going to come in here. You're going to come in here.
Let's talk about it.
Into the Herd Center and try to beat us. 7-0 sweep.
Boom. Across all platforms, only one loss in sets.
Only
one set dropped, and you know the men's team is like, dang it, we would have liked to sweep. Coach Woodson has that team thinking, man, we got to just win every single set. I'm excited to watch them dominate the rest of the way.
Coach Woodson's such a cool guy.
We will win the national championship.
He was like,
on this show, he said that.
He's like, we'll win the national championship, but we're just not going to really talk about that right now.
I love it.
Great.
I love it.
How about Tyquan Thornton? You ever heard of him?
Heard of him.
Heard of him? Well, he's
him.
coming back. You better get used to hearing more
Yeah.
of him. Tyquan Thornton will be in a Baylor uniform next year. He announces he is coming back. But with every little bit of good news, there's always bad news that evens it out. And we are sad to report here on Uptempo that Jens Danielson, the offensive line graduate assistant, will no longer be with the Baylor football program next season.
That is almost that is almost the worst news you could have on a day like today.
It's not good.
It's the worst news. I mean, think about the homies and haters list this week. He better be right up there near the top because he promised Bigfoot Jr. a starting spot in the 2024 class, and now Jens Danielson, obviously out of town.
Out.
See ya.
Out. Under his own accord. But I'd like to think maybe there was some pressure. The seat was getting hot, and he decided, okay.
As a JD, I just want to say the rest of us JDs do no longer claim Jens Danielson.
Wow. Jens Danielson taken off the JD list.
Of the Jens Danielson.
He is taken off the JD list.
I'm sorry.
Bryce Petty and Spencer Drango. Matchup 1 of the Bear games today. Denzel Mims and Andrew Billings. That is matchup 2. Hey, and I'm not a betting guy. You.
I used to be.
I used
to be.
Long, dark rabbit hole that you found your way out of, and I'm so proud of you for that.
Thank you.
Today, our Bear Games question of the day. What is tonight's score? Final score prediction.
Yep.
And not only that, does the over hit? The over is at 140.5. And I hope you didn't take the over against Texas Tech and Lubbock because that was a defensive battle. All right, here we go. Jens Danielson gone. On a day like today, who better to start us off than Baylor Bigfoot? Baylor Bigfoot, you're on with Uptempo.
Here we go.
Hello?
Hello?
Hey, guys, it's Baylor Bigfoot.
Let's go.
Toby on the phone. Long-time caller, first-time listener. Sponsored by Double R Burgers. Make sure you try their new Bigfoot special. Simply go into Double R and ask for the Bigfoot special and tell them Bigfoot sent you. Remember, Double R for double B's. Hey, guys, I got the updated homies and haters list. Which one do you want first?
Roll through your haters quick.
All right, here's the homies list. That's 16, Felipe Garcia, my newest followers on Twitter. 15, Brian Horn. 14, Evan Miyakawa. 13, Chase Gilmer. 12, Holly Rowe. 11, we got Jake_Needs, Jake Neidart, Ryan Crowd, Dr. Jane Harville, and Lauren Dunham.
There we go.
At 10, we got Trey Mina for the great content creation for Baylor.
Yeah.
At 9, we got Baylor men's basketball. At 8, we have Annie Agar for being the funniest person on Twitter. At 7, we have Landry Walsh and Madeline Martin.
I'll retweet it.
At 6, we have T-Rex. He's a great guy and someone I consider to be a close friend of mine. You're a real one, T-Rex. At 5, we have Double R.
Burgers. It's the same person.
At 4, we have Ashley Hodge, the owner of SicEm365.
Wow.
At 3, we have the SicEm365 Radio shows, Uptempo, and the flagship show.
What are the first two?
At 2, we have Darby Brown for liking my tweet and thanking me for congratulating her on a job well done on reporting the local sports news. She's been tremendous in the local station ever since she got here. And at number 1 on the homies list is Scotty B, the Baylor Co-King, for calling me his homie. Bigfoot Jr. nearly jumped through the roof when he heard that news.
That's big. That's big.
You ready for the haters list?
Hurry, bring it on.
Need it up tempo.
At 13 is the lines of the crowds of the bars I try to go to. The bars at Lubbock were atrocious.
The bars.
At 12 is my congressman for telling me that Donald Trump needs to be impeached ASAP for inciting the riots. He did no such thing. Then we got Matt Wasbear, Stoner Ranger, Caleb Marsh 2, Baylor Wando, Robert Clegg, X, Brian Surf Fahrenheit, and at 4, guys, we have Jens Danielson for betraying Baylor.
Should have been higher.
That's low. That was low. I picked the under.
Should have been higher.
All right, guys, it might be low for you, but you got to listen to my other 3. At 3 is Iowa State women's basketball for cheating, paying the refs, and illegally beating Baylor women's basketball.
Illegally.
At 2, we have Barrett Tomcat. And number 1 is the referees in the Baylor Texas Tech basketball game. There were way too many fouls against Baylor. What do you think about this, gentlemen?
I think it's great. Jens Danielson's got to be higher, though.
Yeah, I'm going Jens Danielson higher, probably on top of the Texas Tech referees. Jens Danielson leaving Baylor is probably the worst part of my day. Bigfoot, let's play some Bear games, all right?
All right, guys, I'd also like to reiterate, RG3 should be included in the Bear games, seeing how I was the greatest Baylor player of all time.
Bryce Petty or Spencer Drango?
I love Spencer Drago, but it's got to be Bryce.
True. Denzel Mims or Andrew Billings?
Denzel Mims had a couple great seasons, but Andrew Billings was a defensive stalwart for us.
True. No recency bias there.
Love it.
Tonight's final score, Bigfoot.
We're playing Kansas.
Yeah.
68-40.
Oh, God.
Love it.
So the over does not hit. All right. Thanks for your call, Baylor Bigfoot.
You said it does?
No, it doesn't.
Oh, okay.
All right. Tag out.
All right. Remember, double R burgers. Ask for the Bigfoot special, and tell the Bigfoot at you. Oh, you been listening. Double B's out.
Wow. That guy is majestic. That's a real person. That's a walking, breathing human being.
That was intense.
I need like an inhaler after that.
I forget on occasion that like it's not an actual Bigfoot. Like the spiel itself makes me think that's not a real human being in that costume.
That feels like a dream.
It's not a real human being, but it is an actual living adult that's like, yeah, I'm going to do this.
We have somebody else here on our show. Isaac is here today.
Yes.
First time in the studio, and that was his first caller that he was exposed to. Isaac, glad to have you here. And that was a quick baptism into what is the up-tempo culture.
Yes.
Long-time listener, first-time intern, Isaac, welcome to the studio.
The GOAT.
We got Steven from Virginia on the line.
Here we go.
Steven, I got like a minute and a half here, and then call me back in like, what, a half hour? You cool with that? We got Casey Lightfoot coming on at 11:15.
Casey Lightfoot's awesome. So because I only got a minute and a half, I'll call you back on the other stuff. But I just want to say, first, today's a bad day for Jens Danielson.
Yep.
I love Baylor Bigfoot. I want to say that. Baylor Bigfoot's my homie, even if I didn't make the list. But I'm not one to question the mating rituals of Bigfoot's, but he played with RG3 and he has a son in the 2024 class. The math's not adding up. Yep. But I love Bigfoot. So the mating rituals of Bigfoot's may be different than normal humans.
That could be faulty reporting by me for 2024. It wouldn't be the first time. Sorry, go ahead, Steven.
Go ahead. I'm not good at that. But I will say, I called Mac McClung being a fraud because I looked up.
He did.
And I saw him hit one basket and 3 free throws, and all of a sudden he had 20 points. And I'm not really sure how that happened. But he turned the ball over 5 times, and he got blocked 3 times. And it was going to be a 6-point game until they hit 2 free throws, so Drake got the cover. You got time for Bear Game?
Bear Games, really quick. Give me Bryce Petty or Spencer Drango.
We don't have time.
Bryce Petty.
Denzel Mims or Andrew Billings?
Andrew Billings.
And then final score tonight?
Final score tonight, Baylor and Kansas hit the over, and Baylor covers.
Wow.
Baylor wins 75-54.
That is the under. Thank you for your call, Stephen Virginia. Call me back in a half hour. We're going to hit a quick Armstrong's Minute. Loop Casey Lightfoot in here. Sheraton King is on the Impact Health Labs caller line. Hold on there, or maybe give us a call back in like 15 minutes or so. Hold on the line. We'll get you in here in a second. Casey Lightfoot joins Up-Tempo right after this.
It was the biggest weekend of the new year for Baylor Athletics with 6 programs in action. Starting in basketball, the number 2 men's team notched a gritty win at Texas Tech 68-60, led by Davion Mitchell's 19 points, following slow offensive performances in his last 2 games.
Steps back 3 for Butler. All of a sudden, he's heating up.
On the women's side, battling COVID and lacking depth, Kim Mulkey's squad fell at home on Saturday night 75-71 to Iowa State, snapping a 61-game home win streak. On the tennis court, the number 15 Baylor men notched a 7-0 win against Lamar and a 6-1 win against Abilene Christian on Saturday, while the women notched 2 7-0 wins against Prairie View A&M. In track, Baylor's Casey Lightfoot broke the collegiate record for indoor pole vault at the Corky Classic in Lubbock, en route to being featured at number 8 on SportsCenter's Top 10. Lightfoot also notched the world lead. Rounding things out, the men's basketball team is back in action against Top 10 Kansas tonight in the Ferrell Center at 8 p.m. on ESPN. I'm Armstrong Sims. That's all the news that is news in college sports. This has been Armstrong's Minute on SicEm365 Radio's Up Tempo.
When it comes to hauling the family and hauling cargo, see Alan Samuels. Get the king of minivans, the award-winning Chrysler Pacifica, or America's lowest price third-row crossover, Dodge Journey. During the Big Finish event, get 0%, no payments for 90 days, and employee pricing for all on Pacifica. It's minivan first class. And get employee pricing for all on new 2020 Dodge Journeys. Happy holidays from your friend in the car business, Alan Samuels.
If you or a loved one or friend has been arrested and you can't afford bail, trust Terry and Chase Chapman at Chapman's Bail Bonds, covering Waco and McLennan County for over 25 years. Chapman's can bail you out anywhere with experienced, knowledgeable local agents who are committed to serving you professionally, respectfully, and with the highest integrity. Chapman's understands your privacy is important. Your freedom can be secured fast when you use Chapman's Bail Bonds. Open 24 hours a day. Payment arrangements available. Call Chapman's Bail Bonds. When you need help, 254-754-1603. When you ring, we'll spring.
At Ideal MRI, we feel blessed to be part of the Waco community. We're a small family business here in Central Texas. At times like this, the cost of healthcare has never been more important. And unfortunately, significant illnesses and injuries still occur. And that's why Ideal MRI is open and here to serve you through this difficult time. So if you need an MRI, ask your doctor about Ideal MRI. You can schedule online in minutes at idealmri.com or call 833-IDEAL-MRI.
One size fits all. That may be all right for an adjustable belt or cheap sunglasses, but when it comes to your financial needs, no one wants a one-size-fits-all strategy. Ben Erlinson, your Edward Jones financial advisor, knows that his most important goals are yours. That's why he takes the time to understand your needs, knowing you. That's how Edward Jones makes sense of investing. Ben Erlinson, 100 North 6th Street in Waco, 254-759-8533. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
At Baylor University, students find their place to shine. They're faithful friends and inspirational leaders. They're championship teammates and independent thinkers. They're on the cutting edge of high tech and in the halls of history. If you want to make the world a brighter place, you can. And if you want to shine in your own way, you can. The spark you need is already inside you. Bring it to Baylor, where lights shine bright.
Learning to navigate life in the COVID-19 world has been a struggle, and where and how to get tested has been one of the biggest challenges. Impact Health Labs has your answer. If you need mass testing for your office, church, dormitory, or school, Impact Health Labs is who to call. They will come to you, conduct the testing at your location, and have the test back within 24 hours. Most major insurance accepted, meaning your out-of-pocket cost is low. So no more waiting by the phone for days to find out the results. Impact Health Labs was founded by 3 Army licensed and credentialed medical professionals. They believe in accuracy, efficiency, and doing the job right. Call 254-744-6233 to set up your group screening today. Impact Health Labs, on-site, prompt, and accurate, taking COVID-19 head-on. Again, that number is 254-744-6233 or online at impacthealthlabs.com.
Welcome to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
Up tempo on your TV. Now you're watching. Your boss walks by and says, "What's that?" And you say, "Well, it's Up Tempo." And he's like, "Oh, well, that's kind of cool."
Yeah, it's kinda
and then
cool,
your boss watches it with you.
Yeah.
You get a raise. You become your boss.
Yes.
You own the company.
And you find out your boss is, in fact, Baylor Bigfoot.
It's only money.
It's only money, baby.
It's only money.
Now, back to the Bears Den with Drake Toll and Jamie Pickell for the Blonde Boys Power Hour.
It's the Blonde Boys Power Hour. Drake Toll, JD Pickell, Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio. I asked myself like a week and a half ago, I said, the one thing that I want for my birthday is to talk to the person who leads the world in pole vault, which was a strange, strange wish. And my parents said, Drake, I don't think we can make that happen for you. But Armstrong said, I can. And now we're joined by Casey Lightfoot. Casey, a lot has happened since the last time we talked to you like 6 days ago.
Jeez.
I got a super bad haircut. You broke the collegiate pole vault record. Congratulations.
What did I don't have much going on.
What was that? Where did the audio go? Armstrong, is he okay?
Yeah, hold on. We got no audio for some reason.
Casey, I'm so sorry. Armstrong, the audio messed up.
Hey, don't blame me.
I'm not going to blame Armstrong. Armstrong tells me not to blame him, but...
Try it again. Hey,
all right, Casey.
Are you there, Casey?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. So we're going to replay that.
There we go.
6 days ago, Casey, like a lot's happened between now and then. I got a really bad haircut. You broke the collegiate pole vault record. Walk us through it.
I don't think there's too much to walk through it. I think you
jump us through it.
I think you nailed us through it. Right on the head.
So, really though, that moment, Casey, where you and we kind of talked about this last week, where you were prepared for this. Like in practice, you had made that jump before, you were ready for this, and going into that moment, prepared to do it. What were your nerves like?
There's really not too much nerves anymore. I mean, it's not any different than every other time that I've done it. I mean, I've pole vaulted plenty of times. I've gone to plenty of meets, so it's nothing new. I mean, I guess the only nerves are, I don't know, standing at the back of the runway, like, all right, well, we got three shots here. Hopefully it stays. But I mean, there's not really any nerves too much anymore.
Casey, you might be the coolest customer of any athlete I've ever talked to in my life, interview or not. What is your routine to be so loose when it comes to performance?
I mean, there's not too much of a routine, but you just can't overthink a lot of things. I mean, I just like I said, I mean, I've done it before. It's no different than any other previous time that I've done it. So, I mean, I don't really have a routine other than just kind of try to just stay calm and relax, because I mean, if you get over tense or anything, it's actually detrimental to what you can do.
Wow. There it is.
Casey, I'm looking right here. This is the World Athletics Twitter page that has posted about your pole vault jump this weekend. With that jump, you became number 1 in the world in pole vault. There is no one that is jumping higher than you. Does that put a target on your back, not just in collegiate competition, but now Olympic competition?
Maybe a little bit. I mean, Mondo Duplantis hasn't opened his season yet, and I think he opens up next week or the week after, so I'm sure he'll take it back. But for now, yeah, I am number 1 in the world, so that's a pretty exciting feat that I can say I have right now. I don't know if I would really call it a target. I think everybody's you jump against yourself and what the aspect is. But I mean, now I guess somebody could put the bar at 595, and if they make it, then they take the world lead. So then I guess I would have to go higher to do that. But that's really the only target aspect, because in the long run, it's you against the bar. Whatever happens, happens.
You say whatever happens, happens, but obviously you're still a competitive person. You want to win. Is there some competitive tension that goes down after knowing, hey, nobody at this meet can even touch me? Is there still the same amount of butterflies going into meets like that for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the same amount. I mean, whether there's people there or not, it's a solo event. So it's like you can never get that out, because you're competing against yourself, and you can never lose any butterflies that you have for doing that. I mean, you can gain more if somebody else is there, because there's more competition, but the butterflies, they're always a standard amount that doesn't really change.
Wow. So how about this too, Casey? I'm reading here, Jacob Davis held the collegiate record for 16 years and 7 days. Sean Barber broke it and held it for basically 4 years. Mondo Duplantis held it for less than a year. Chris Nilsson held it for less than a year, and now it's already broken again. Is this thing, is like no collegiate pole vault record safe at this point?
I mean, according to those numbers, apparently not. We'll see if it holds for a little bit. Hopefully I can bump it up a little higher and maybe almost try to put it out of reach of some other people. But I mean, it's never safe. There can always be somebody that comes along and breaks it.
I was going to say, how high can you go? Have you gone higher in practice?
So yeah, in practice a couple weeks ago, I guess it was at this point, I jumped a 6 meter bar. So 19.8 1/4. So hopefully, I mean, in one of these meets, A&M, it's a hard place to jump. Not saying that it can't happen, but we go back to Tech a few times. So hopefully I feel like I can get a pretty good 6 meter bar in, if maybe a little higher.
So with your jumps, Casey, and you talked about Mondo Duplantis, and that's a name that we've heard in track and field. How well do you know him, and how comparable are your numbers to his?
I've known Mondo for quite a while. I mean, we're friends. We don't talk all the time, but if I ever have a question or anything, I can text him and ask him. And so it's just like a kind of a mutual friendship. We spent quite a bit of time together in like Belarus actually, and then my numbers they're behind his for sure. But I mean, he also holds the world record. So, yeah. But I mean, he jumped 592 in college indoors. Yeah, he went pro after his freshman year, but I jumped 94, and then he has the outdoor record still at 6 meters. So hopefully I'm gonna try and take that one down too. So I mean, I'm trying to catch up to him slowly.
And then you were on the Sports Center top 7. I think you were number 8. Did you know that was going to happen, or you just turned on ESPN like everybody else and were like, oh yeah, I'm on TV. I'm one of the top plays.
So it was funny. I was on Twitter because after that collegiate record, my phone was blowing up.
Oh yeah.
And I saw Jeremy Warner, Olympic gold medalist, tagged me in a tweet and said, like, at Casey Lightfoot, you were just on ESPN or Sports Center top 10, and I didn't know about it. So then I kind of tried to get a little confirmation, and then soon after, Kellen texted me a video of it. So then obviously that was good enough to know it was real. And then after that, it was just, I mean, it was a pretty cool feature that I didn't know was going to happen.
Wow. So Casey, walk us through with the Olympics. Will that all be outdoors? Is there anything indoors? Is there a separate sect for both? Or what is your Olympic outlook as far as how that competition will look?
Yeah, that one's going to be all outdoors. So we go to the Olympic trials, and then there's a prelims and a finals. So you get top 3 in the Olympic trials, you make the Olympic team. But it's all outdoors. The stadium in Tokyo it's just what you would imagine, a big stadium, but roof is open. So it's like, I guess you're a covered outdoors kind of deal. But I mean, it's all outside.
And how much of your focus is on the Olympics right now? Obviously, you still have the collegiate season to worry about. Is there a lot of mental space that is still going towards preparing for the Olympics, preparing for Tokyo?
Yeah, I mean, because I have to focus on NCAAs kind of like right now, because that's what time we're in, you know what I mean? So it's like college is coming first right now, but I still obviously am kind of focusing training around the Olympic trials, because you have to be able to peak kind of your season right around then. So you don't want to go out too fast and then die by the end. So I'm kind of going slow until we get to the Olympic trials, and hopefully big mark happens there and I can make the Olympic team.
So Casey, tell me, on like your average Wednesday, when you're sitting in a college Spanish class learning Spanish, knowing that in like 4 months you're going to be in Tokyo, Japan, competing for a gold medal at the Olympics, are you able to focus?
Yeah, you can focus. It's a little tough, but I went to it's funny you say that. I went to World Championships last summer, and it was like during the beginning of school, and I had to go. I left for like 2 weeks to go to Belarus. And then I came back for like a week, and then I left for like another month to go to Qatar. And I'm not gonna lie, it's really tough to do schoolwork, especially whenever your time zone's like 8 hours ahead. It's not on the top of your priority list. I'm gonna be honest.
Wow.
I was gonna say, have you considered switching to taking something more applicable like Japanese to prepare for the Olympics? That might come a little more handy in the next few months.
That might become more handy. I'm taking a world geography class, though, so maybe that'll help me figure out how to get there.
Wow. So you were. That's so good, Casey Lightfoot. Casey, you were telling us you're in like 16 hours this semester. Like, it's crazy to fathom the fact that you've got this Olympic outlook, but you're still in college right now, taking college classes and like sitting next to other college kids in these classes. And little did they know, like, oh yeah, Mom, that guy's going to be an Olympian. So for you and your professional outlook, is there any, like, is it in the forefront of your mind that, hey, I could go pro right now?
Well, Not yet, at least. I mean, I wouldn't, if I would do anything, if I went pro early, it would be probably after this year, after NCAAs, but there's no guarantee on that. But until then, I got a college season kind of to worry about right now. So I give that all I got right now. And if the time is right, the time is right. If the time is wrong, it's not time yet.
Wow.
Casey, I've got all the hard-hitting questions for you. When you getting verified on Twitter here, man? You're breaking world records. What do you got to do to get a blue check? All right, that's all I got. That's all I want to know.
It's apparently really difficult for what I found out. I thought we were going to get one after World Championships on Instagram, but that one didn't happen. So I guess I just got to jump a little higher. I don't know. It's a tough thing to get.
Yeah, they really set a high bar.
They set a high standard. They sure did. That was a good one.
Oh my gosh, Casey Lightfoot, the new collegiate record holder in indoor pole vault. He's going to do it again in outdoor, the current world lead. Nobody in the world can pole vault higher. From all of us at Uptempo SicEm365 Radio, congratulations, Casey. Keep grinding.
Thank you.
Man, love having you on. Hey, Casey, what do you say we do it again when you break it again, and then when you break outdoor, and then when you go to the Olympics?
I love it.
Okay.
Let's just keep doing this at every milestone.
Let's get him verified.
Let's get you verified. Wow. Sweet. Thanks again, Casey.
Thank you.
Wow.
He's awesome.
Casey Lightfoot, collegiate record holder. Nobody in the history of college pole vault has done it better than Casey Lightfoot.
What a cool customer, too. So casual with every single response. I don't know. I'll go pro whenever the time's right. I mean, yeah, I'm going to Japan probably in 4 months. Hopefully I can make the Olympic team, knowing full well nobody in the world is jumping as high as him. I would think he's probably got a pretty good shot at making the Olympic
Unbelievable.
team.
Oh, 100%. Like, this guy is going to, like, you understand, not to mention, he talked about Mondo Duplantis. Mondo Duplantis is originally from Sweden. Mm-hmm. He's Swedish. So, fat chance you didn't know that?
I'm like,
yeah, this guy's not a very big track and field stand. We have learned this guy's track and fields. You're working on it?
No, not working on it. I would just say, anybody that wants to talk track and field with me, I am more than ready to talk track and field.
His Facebook comment sections are open.
I got lit up by a lot of soccer moms and dads in Vilonia, Arkansas.
I pulled it up. I made sure he got lit up. He deserved it.
I wasn't even tagged in the tweet either, or tagged in the Facebook post. So it was very like, oh, Drake, let's look at Drake's wall. Bam! Just like a bunch of get him educated. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He wasn't raised right. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I still ran track and field. I was still like a decent tracklead back in my day. Like,
I didn't at you.
Gosh.
That was the best part. I was like, maybe I can sneak this by.
Wild.
And that people will really teach you a lesson without actually adding you.
I got crucified.
But you found it.
I had to delete my Facebook.
And you started responding to them.
I was like,
so they only got worse.
I'm not going out like this.
You did. You had to get the last word. You always like. I loved the fact that there was at least 25 messages just dogging JD's track knowledge or lack thereof, asking like, oh, he must have never done track, not knowing that you were almost an Olympian in the bobsled, which in a roundabout way is kind of there. But Casey Lightfoot, not only is he going to the Olympics, he'll probably be the USA's top pole vaulter. Like, that's the thing, too. Like, not only are you sitting in Spanish class, full well knowing, like, I'm going to go to the Olympics in a couple months. Also, moreover, like, I'm going to become a national superstar.
Yeah, and nobody can touch him. Nobody at any meet. I mean, he was very casual about that. Nobody at any meet he goes to will even hold a candle to Casey Lightfoot.
Think about Michael Johnson. You know, like Michael Johnson goes to the Olympics, blows out every record.
Yep.
The dude just becomes he becomes an American legend, an Olympic legend. And who knew Michael Johnson's name in 1982?
Nobody.
So then you go 84, everybody. Same thing, Casey Lightfoot. It's like the guy doesn't have a blue check. We're talking to him while he's still like, oh yeah, he's a college kid sitting in college classes right now. But in the span of 3 months, folks, that guy right there will be blasted across every TV in the entire world.
So true. He will have a national presence, if not an international presence, by the time it's all said and done.
If the dude takes home a gold medal, or even if he takes home a medal at the Olympics, the dude's an American hero.
I think he goes pro after the Olympics.
Oh,
I would hope he goes pro after the Olympics.
You know, I probably would. I say that
I'd go
though,
pro
like,
now.
Because think about the deal you can sign too.
Yeah,
like you go to the Olympics and you perform well at the Olympics. Like, hey, anybody will sign you to a shoe deal.
Nike.
Bro, that guy could be on the cover of a Wheaties album In like a month, and I say that, in like 6 months.
A Wheaties album?
Yeah.
Wheaties mixtape.
Wheaties is about to drop some fire beats with Casey Lightfoot, Armstrong. They're expanding their marketing repertoire. Casey Lightfoot.
I love it.
Olympian just joined Up Tempo. That's
Beautiful.
the coolest thing.
So cool.
Can we have him on every day?
Did I short him too? Was he higher than 8 on the top 10?
No, he was 8.
He was 8. Okay, I want to make sure.
He was 8. We got a lot to cover today. Baylor men's basketball, Baylor women's basketball, Kansas Baylor tonight. We're breaking it down. We have Jesse Newell joining us at 105 from the Kansas City Star. You ever listen? Casey Musgraves did a cover of the song Kansas City Star. It's so good.
I haven't heard it.
It's so good.
Okay.
You got to go listen to it.
I'll check it out during the break.
Yeah, do that. I'm Drake Toll. That's JD Piquel. We got a whole host of folks in the studio today. Basically a live studio audience. Longtime listener, first-time intern Isaac is with us today. Armstrong, longtime listener, longtime producer as well. Thank you, Armstrong. I'm Drake Toll, JD Piquel. Be right back after Armstrong's Minute and a quick break. This is Up Tempo.
It was the biggest weekend of the new year for Baylor Athletics with 6 programs in action. Starting in basketball, the number 2 men's team notched a gritty win at Texas Tech, 68-60, led by Davion Mitchell's 19 points, following slow offensive performances in his last 2 games.
Step back 3 for Butler. All of a sudden, he's heating up.
On the women's side, battling COVID and lacking depth, Kim Mulkey's squad fell at home on Saturday night, 75-71, to Iowa State, snapping a 61-game home win streak. On the tennis court, the number 15 Baylor men notched a 7-0 win against Lamar and a 6-1 win against Abilene Christian on Saturday, while the women notched 2 7-0 wins against Prairie View A&M. In track, Baylor's Casey Lightfoot broke the collegiate record for indoor pole vault at the Corky Classic in Lubbock, en route to being featured at number 8 on SportsCenter's Top 10. Lightfoot also notched the world lead. Rounding things out, the men's basketball team is back in action against top 10 Kansas tonight in the Ferrell Center at 8 p.m. on ESPN. I'm Armstrong Sims. That's all the news that is news in college sports. This has been Armstrong's Minute on SicEm365 Radio's Up Tempo.
When it comes to hauling the family and hauling cargo, see Alan Samuels. Get the king of minivans, the award-winning Chrysler Pacifica, or America's lowest price third-row crossover, Dodge Journey. During the Big Finish event, get 0%, no payments for 90 days, and employee pricing for all on Pacifica. It's minivan first class. And get employee pricing for all on new 2020 Dodge Journeys. Happy holidays from your friend in the car business, Alan Samuels.
If you or a loved one or friend has been arrested and you can't afford bail, trust Terry and Chase Chapman at Chapman's Bail Bonds, covering Waco and McLennan County for over 25 years. Chapman's can bail you out anywhere with experienced, knowledgeable local agents who are committed to serving you professionally, respectfully, and with the highest integrity. Chapman's understands your privacy is important. Your freedom can be secured fast when you use Chapman's Bail Bonds. Open 24 hours a day. Payment arrangements available. Call Chapman's Bail Bonds. When you need help, 254-754-1603. When you ring, we'll spring.
At Ideal MRI, we feel blessed to be part of the Waco community. We're a small family business here in Central Texas. At times like this, the cost of healthcare has never been more important. And unfortunately, significant illnesses and injuries still occur. And that's why Ideal MRI is open and here to serve you through this difficult time. So if you need an MRI, ask your doctor about Ideal MRI. You can schedule online in minutes at idealmri.com or call 833-IDEAL-MRI.
One size fits all. That may be all right for an adjustable belt or cheap sunglasses, but when it comes to your financial needs, no one wants a one-size-fits-all strategy. Ben Erlinson, your Edward Jones financial advisor, knows that his most important goals are yours. That's why he takes the time to understand your needs, knowing you. That's how Edward Jones makes sense of investing. Ben Erlinson, 100 North 6th Street in Waco, 254-759-8533. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
At Baylor University, students find their place to shine. They're faithful friends and inspirational leaders. They're championship teammates and independent thinkers. They're on the cutting edge of high tech and in the halls of history. If you want to make the world a brighter place, you can. And if you want to shine in your own way, you can. The spark you need is already inside you. Bring it to Baylor, where lights shine bright.
Learning to navigate life in the COVID-19 world has been a struggle, and where and how to get tested has been one of the biggest challenges. Impact Health Labs has your answer. If you need mass testing for your office, church, dormitory, or school, Impact Health Labs is who to call. They will come to you, conduct the testing at your location, and have the test back within 24 hours. Most major insurance accepted, meaning your out-of-pocket cost is low. So no more waiting by the phone for days to find out the results. Impact Health Labs was founded by 3 Army licensed and credentialed medical professionals. They believe in accuracy, efficiency, and doing the job right. Call 254-744-6233 to set up your group screening today. Impact Health Labs, on-site, prompt, and accurate, taking COVID-19 head-on. Again, that number is 254-744-6233 or online at impacthealthlabs.com.
Welcome to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
Up tempo on your TV. Now you're watching. Your boss walks by, says, "What's that?" And you say, "Well, it's Up Tempo." And he's like, "Oh, well, that's kind of cool."
Yeah, it's kinda
and then
cool,
your boss watches it with you.
Yeah.
You get a raise. You become your boss.
Yes.
You own the company.
And you find out your boss is, in fact, Baylor Bigfoot.
It's only money.
It's only money, baby. It's only money.
Now, back to the Bears Den with Drake Toll and Jamie Pickell for the Blonde Boys Power Hour.
What's better than one Blonde Boys Power Hour? Try 3 of them. We got JD Pickell in all day today. I said, JD, look, man, I can't, we're having a lot of fun on the show right now, and, things are going well, but gosh, what I would do to have you not go take your dog to the dog park for at least one day. And he said, okay, I can afford. You haven't been paid this month yet.
I've saved a lot.
But you have enough monies that you bought a dog sitter specifically for today, knowing full well that you could be on the show for 3 hours.
You know what it was? I had very little money to my name, but I put all of it on your take of Baylor minus 3.5 against Texas Tech. Obviously that hit, and here we are, 3 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, so thank you for that, actually.
And I said, I can't, if JD's going to come in here for 3 hours, the attention is then drawn away from myself for that last 2 hours that usually rallies in. So I said, to make up for that, I'm going to need to get a bad haircut.
Stop.
So I did. And now you guys
I don't think
see.
It looks bad. I think it looks good. Also, you got the fresh up-tempo.
What's worse?
Magellan.
Your track take, your sports betting, or you complimenting my haircut?
Dude, track take is definitely not it. Sports betting.
Track take was bad.
Sports betting. Track take was. We'll get the track take. Will send us for another hour. Track take will send us for another hour. I think the haircut's good.
Thank you. That's really sweet. I will accept that. It was we fought through it. I almost wore a hat. I don't like wearing hats. But I contemplated it. For those who are listening via the app, which I do recommend doing, especially on a day like today, they're probably like, wow, I need to see this. And in which case, no, it's okay. You don't have to. We've got Steven from Virginia on the line of the Impact Health Labs caller line. Steven from Virginia, you're on with Up Tempo.
Hey, guys, I got 2 things to talk about. The first is college basketball tonight. What was the over-under? Apparently, I came under.
Yeah, it was 140. 140 and a half.
Oh, well, I'll still have them hitting it. I think that Kansas is not as strong a defensive team as Texas Tech was. I think that Texas Tech, we talked a little, JD was talking about this, about how Matt McClung is good for what Texas Tech does. And even though he, I didn't think he played particularly well, he still scored 20 points and he still was productive. And Texas Tech played the perfect game to keep that game as close as they did. But I'm feeling a much more offensive, rhythmic, flowing game tonight with Baylor and Kansas.
We're going to hear
I
from.
will say they hit over and that they cover.
Final score prediction? What are you adjusting that to?
But you said the over-under is 144.5?
Yep. 140 and a half.
140 and a half.
140.5. I'll take Baylor 83, Kansas 72.
Ooh.
That still means Baylor hit the cover, right? That's an 11-point win.
Yeah.
They can't be favored by
I'm not good at math, but that's right.
I like that. I just remembered. I'll be there tonight.
Oh, let's go.
Holy cow.
Heck yeah, let's go.
Baylor, Kansas is in Waco tonight.
Let's roll.
Guys.
Let's ride out.
This is huge. It's a big Monday, quite literally. Pun intended. That's literally it's Big Monday.
It's one of the biggest Mondays ever.
It's Big Monday. Stephen from Virginia. We'll have Scott Drew and Maceo Teague in a second. They're coming on at the 12 o'clock hour via yesterday's press conference to talk the Kansas game and break things down. I don't think Kansas is as good of a deep.
One more personal thing for y'all.
Oh.
A personal thing. I'm going to college. I'm almost done with community college. I've whittled down my list to 5. I've got the 247 crystal ball rankings.
Wow.
We've got a list of Baylor, University of Missouri, University of Colorado, University of Virginia, University of South Carolina.
Wow, all good schools.
The insiders say St. Louis University is on the outside looking in.
Okay.
But the the crystal ball says an 80% Baylor lean, with 10% towards UVA, and the other 10 split between Missouri and Colorado.
Is there a commitment date set?
How soon is this happening?
Boys. Be ready.
How soon is this happening?
So I have 2 semesters left, and my GPA is pretty spectacular.
It sounds like it.
So,
yeah. You got into Virginia. That's good.
I was going to say it's a great school.
That's a good point.
They're all great schools, but
that's the
Virginia
closest
and Baylor.
school. It's either a decision to go with my heart and to try and go to Baylor, or to go to University of Virginia and pursue history, because I spent a couple hours in the Miller Center at UVA listening to some Nixon tapes this summer, and that might be why Virginia's number 2.
I am a history minor, actually. Minor?
Hardly know her.
Thanks. I'm a history minor, actually.
As your role as class president, I expect you to take as many pictures tonight as possible and post them to all forms of social media.
There you go.
I will do that. Consider it doubled. I will 100% do that. I'm excited to go to the game tonight. I just now remembered that there is a game tonight against Kansas, and that I'll be going, and that Maceo Teague and Scott Drew will be joining the show via yesterday's press conference. Stephen from Virginia, you've got Baylor tonight by 11, 83-72. What are your big watching plans? It'll be 9 o'clock come tip off on your end.
So I'm probably going to watch a little bit more film to get ready for the game. I'm going to watch the Baylor-Texas Tech game while I do some homework. And then I'm going to watch the Kansas and Texas game. And then I'll probably get some other homework done around the afternoon. And then by the time the game starts, I'll be sitting in front of my TV ready to go with my SicEm365 drip on.
Love it.
This guy got
a
T-shirt.
Look good. Yeah, it's going to look good on you. How does it fit?
It fits perfectly,
Beautiful.
my guy.
Also,
just like anything that wears green and gold should.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Maceo Teague's mother, actually, I don't know if that's a spoiler or not, will be doing the SicEm365 basketball postgame with Ashley Hodge. That's going to be a treat. I'm excited for that one.
Bring it on.
All right. I can only hit he's as good at three-pointers as Maceo. Take it easy, guys.
Thanks, you, Steve. From Virginia on the Impact Health Labs caller line, 254-339-1122. Join in the action. T-Rex is hopping on here. Did you know there is a men's tennis match today? It may still be taking place, because I know it was like this morning at 10.
Oh, okay.
Monday at 10.
Okay.
Kicking it off for us today. So here's what we got. We're going to take T-Rex's call right here, but you can get on the action. 254-339-1122. Let's give something away today. Let's give something away.
Let's do it.
I want to give away one of these for Music Monday.
Tumbler.
Against my better, because I'm tired of shipping things. I frankly hate shipping things because it's way more expensive than I thought it was.
Yep.
And I went to ship the first round of stuff out. I was like, whoa, I'll just do some shipping. And they were like, that'll be $46. It's just like 3 things.
Give us your left arm for $46.
And I did. You've already given up 3 of your firstborn children.
I'm out.
You're out 3 kids.
We're adopting at this point, yeah.
So I kind of did the same thing. They're like, hey, I'm gonna need your kid, your first kid. You can't ship this stuff out unless you give your kid. And I was like, you know what? I care about our listeners that much.
Yep.
I don't have a kid anymore.
For the people, by the people, and we're both
it's not my show.
Without kids. Not my show. Not my show.
I want to give one of these away.
Not a wine tumbler
I reluctantly want to give one of these away. I don't all the way. I just kind of do. Also, this, not the laptop. We got in a lot of trouble through the courts. I had to clear a ton of stuff up. It's not the laptop I'm giving away. It's the sticker I'm giving away. Not up tempo, not horns down. Thanks to Matt and DC for the horns down sticker, though.
You kept pointing at your laptop and you said we're giving this away. So
there it is.
Yeah, like I said, it took a long time to fight through the court system and not have to give my computer away. That right there, the SicEm365 sticker, I want to give one of those away. What we're going to do to give one of those away is we're going to guess Isaac's birthday today. I don't know Isaac's birthday. Isaac, longtime listener, first-time intern in the studio with us today.
Beautiful.
He's got a birthday. I can guarantee you he does. We're going to guess it. Whoever can guess Isaac's birthday correctly, this is going to be good. Like, this is tough. This is tough.
Yeah.
You will win a SicEm365 sticker.
No idea.
If we guess it in studio, do we get to keep a sticker?
What? Yeah.
Sure.
That's fine.
Okay, cool.
That's honestly sure.
Okay, cool.
We've got Matt and DC. I thought it was T-Rex. It's Matt and DC. Come on. Matt, welcome on to Uptempo.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Just gave you a shout-out, man, for the horns down sticker. I'm repping it on the laptop today.
It looks great. Appreciate it, man. Actually, for y'all and any listeners, you can find those on a website called tpublic.com. TE Public, basically, it's all people's custom-made shirts people design. I actually got every single school in Texas with that same color variation in case there's any other tech or TE people. So the more horns down sticker from anywhere is always good.
How many of our callers have sponsorships? I feel like every caller calls in with like, also, aside from my call, head on down to Jack's Mattress Store.
Double our burgers.
What else you got, Matt and DC?
No, anyway, well, my first thing is that Stephen, Virginia, do not go to, if you're going to stay in Virginia, I mean, I want you to go to Baylor, but if you're going, don't go to Virginia, go to Virginia Tech, go to an actual school where you're going to have a good time and not end up wearing, collared shirts every time I see you after you graduate. Go to Virginia Tech, go to Blacksburg, have some fun with football. Do not go to Virginia.
Michael Vick.
That being said, hey, it's Kansas tonight. I thought we were going to lose by 5 to Texas Tech. But hey, you proved me wrong, Bears. I thought I had us losing at that game, but we pulled it out. It got close, but made it happen with Kansas. I know this is a Baylor show, but I do have to, and there is a Baylor tie-in with this. I'm going to give a shout out to Tom Brady. I can't believe he won again, but the tie-in is the fact that he played on the 1997 Michigan championship football team that Baylor played, and that same year Baylor actually had to play the 1997 national championship team, Nebraska. So there is a little Baylor tie-in with Tom Brady to Baylor. So that being said, he's still the GOAT. He's still probably going to make it to the Super Bowl. But, hey, let's get this Kansas win by one.
I love it. Win by one tonight. Okay. What's your score prediction?
I don't think we'll get to 80 points, so I'm going to say probably like 75, 74.
Man, the over hits for Matt and DC tonight in the Baylor and Kansas game. Let's see. So Virginia Tech and stickers and Baylor by one.
That sums it up, yeah.
That sums it up. Matt and DC, thanks for your call.
Thank you.
Impact Health Labs caller line. Matt and DC, thanks for the sticker again. The horns down that we're now repping on the
Looks
beside
good.
my All My Homies Hate UT Mike sticker.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go.
That was probably a tough order, too.
True.
Jump through some hoops to get that bad boy.
All right, folks, so we're going to hit a break right here. We're with a little bit of Armstrong's Minute. The third time we'll run it. I love today's Armstrong's Minute.
Can never get too many.
I love today. I will explain why later, but I love it. We got a lot going on today. So we're going to hear from Kim Mulkey to start the 12 o'clock hour.
Beautiful.
But you know what? Push it back. Consider it pushed back. We're starting the 12 o'clock hour with Music Monday.
Love it.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to hit an Armstrong's Minute. We're going to go to a break. While we are on a break, invite your friends. Tell your friends, say, guys, Uptempo's on. And I know everybody is back in Waco. All the college kids are back in Waco. All of our peers are here. Say, hey, while you're sitting at your house right now, celebrating or doing whatever you're doing, being a college kid,
whatever you're doing,
pop your TV on. You've got a Roku. I've got a Roku.
I actually do have a Roku.
And just, whoop, Uptempo's on. Boom. And just watch it while you eat your lunch. Watch it while you do stuff. Invite a friend. During this commercial break, text a friend, say, hey, Uptempo's on. They're going to do Music Monday. They're going to talk about Kim Mulkey. They're going to hear from Kim Mulkey after the loss. They're going to hear from Scott Drew and Macy O'Teague. And call us right now, 254-339-1122. Ingrain it. 254-339-1122. The first caller to call us during this break will play Music Monday with this on the line. The tumbler, the wine tumbler is on the line. Call us on the Impact Health Labs caller line, 254-339-1122. Win one of these or don't. I'm Drake Toll. That's JD Piquel, Armstrong Sims. Isaac's in the studio. This is Uptempo.
It was the biggest weekend of the new year for Baylor Athletics with 6 programs in action. Starting in basketball, the number 2 men's team notched a gritty win at Texas Tech 68-60, led by Davion Mitchell's 19 points, following slow offensive performances in his last 2 games.
Step back 3 for Butler. All of a sudden, he's heating up.
On the women's side, battling COVID and lacking depth, Kim Mulkey's squad fell at home on Saturday night 75-71 to Iowa State, snapping a 61-game home win streak. On the tennis court, the number 15 Baylor men notched a 7-0 win against Lamar and a 6-1 win against Abilene Christian on Saturday, while the women notched 2 7-0 wins against Prairie View A&M. In track, Baylor's Casey Lightfoot broke the collegiate record for indoor pole vault at the Corky Classic in Lubbock, en route to being featured at number 8 on SportsCenter's Top 10. Lightfoot also notched the world lead. Rounding things out, the men's basketball team is back in action against top 10 Kansas tonight in the Ferrell Center at 8 p.m. on ESPN. I'm Armstrong Sims. That's all the news that is news in college sports. This has been Armstrong's Minute on SicEm365 Radio's Up Tempo.
With your Ram truck from Allen Samuels, you may not have to plow through snow and mud or pull heavy loads, but you could. During the Big Finish year-end event, you get a Ram deal like no other. Employee pricing for all, 0% for 84, and no payments for 90 days. Ram 1500 Lone Star for Christmas. No other truck comes close. And ask about Big Finish pricing on Ram Heavy Duty and Ram ProMaster for your business. Happy holidays from Allen Samuels.
How did Edward Jones become one of the biggest financial service companies in the world? By not acting that way. Financial strategies, one-on-one advice, it's a big difference. And that's why Brad Wilson, your Edward Jones financial advisor, makes sense of investing. Experience the difference for yourself. Brad Wilson, 250 Sharon Drive in Woodway, 254-776-4337. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
At Ideal MRI, we feel blessed to be a part of the Waco community. We're a small family business right here in Central Texas, and our goal is to bring down the cost of healthcare while maintaining high quality. At times like this, the cost of healthcare has never been more important, and unfortunately, significant illnesses and injuries still occur. That's why Ideal MRI is open and here to serve you through the difficult time. We offer premium MRIs just like a hospital with state-of-the-art technology and specialists, but you'll pay less. Sometimes thousands of dollars less, whether you're using insurance or not. At Ideal MRI, we accept most insurance and there are no hidden costs. Even offering financing if that's needed, everything included in the price, and you'll not get something as a surprise in the mail later on. If you need an MRI, ask your doctor about Ideal MRI. They'll know. You can schedule an appointment safely from home online in minutes at idealmri.com or give us a call, 833-IDEAL-MRI, idealmri.com.
Texas Farm Bureau Insurance has protected fellow Texans with auto, home, health, and life insurance since 1952. With more than 260,000 square miles of land and 27 million people, that's a lot to cover. Whether you're wrangling cattle or wrangling kids, we're proud to protect Texans in all Texan ways of life.
Stop by and see our agents at one of our 3 McLennan County locations.
Coverage and discounts are subject to qualifications and policy terms and may vary by situation.
Waco Custom Marketplace is your home for holiday favorites for parties and the time with family. Various specials available in-store and online. A variety of steak gift boxes with 4 ribeyes for $70, 4 bacon wrap fillets for $55, or 4 New York strips for $50, and all come with steak butter. Fall snack box for watching a game or wrapping presents or hosting people at your house, including summer sausage, split horn, and jalapeno cheese, and salted crackers for only $35. 2 pieces of lobster tails with herb butter and 2 bacon wrap fillets for $60. Order online or call in advance to ensure availability, or drop by Waco Custom Marketplace at 425 Lake Air Drive. Waco Custom Marketplace has a full-service butcher shop for customized orders or cuts of your favorite steaks or beef tenderloin or specially ordered prime rib roast. Plus, what you want with pork, poultry, seafood, and more. Waco Custom Marketplace, 425 Lake Air Drive in Waco, or WacoCustomMarketplace.com.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio. Call us on the Impact Health Labs caller line at 254-339-1122. For your company's mass COVID testing, log on to impacthealthlabs.com.
Want the truth? You can't handle the truth.
Now, back to the Bears Den with Drake Toll and Jamie Pickell for the Blonde Boys Power Hour.
Come on with it. Drake Toll alongside JD Pickell. It's the Blonde Boys Power Hour, baby. Petty Clinic Low T Bears Den. Talking Baylor men's and women's basketball today. Big day. Big day as Baylor and Kansas square off in a top 10 matchup tonight in the Farrell Center. Got a call coming in here. We're going to play some Music Monday.
Bring
today.
it.
Five songs, 25 seconds worth of music. And you've got to guess, of the 5, how many artists and how many songs you get. So 10 points on the board. 10 points on the board.
Tough game.
You scored what last time? Like 5?
6. No, actually, yeah, it was 5. It was
like 5. I think we both scored like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
I had
this was my high score, actually.
I scored 2 the first time we did this. Thanks, Armstrong. The second time we did this, I think that's when I put up the 8-piece.
Yeah.
Then the third time was the legendary 10-piece.
You got 10 once.
10 once.
Oh, okay.
10 once.
Let's go.
But also there was let's see.
Jack Wheeler.
Yes.
Jack Wheeler came in and won the whole thing.
That's right. Jack Wheeler won because we both got 5.
Yeah.
I got a call coming in right here from Don. Don, you're on with Uptempo.
Hey, guys, man, I love your show. Man, y'all left out a great opportunity to put Lightfoot in your top 5. What's up with that?
Oh, in the
should have
top...
been in your top 5.
What, last week?
Yeah. Didn't you have him last week on your show?
Okay, so we did have Lightfoot on the show last week, and I will agree with Don here. Lightfoot did take a snub probably last week. We could have had Lightfoot in the top 5. I will tell you this, Don. I can promise you right now, I'm looking Armstrong in the eyes. There's a connection going on right here, Don. We will have the Casey Lightfoot interview in the top 5 this week after he just told us that he's like, I'm gonna be an Olympian.
Yeah. To be fair, he had not broken the world record yet.
That's true.
To be fair, that was post world record.
This is true, but that's true. He didn't break the record at that time. But this is the fact that he was predicting that he was going to jump that height, and he did.
True.
Yeah,
We're remiss. I will say that. I am remiss.
He spoke it into existence, basically, is what he did.
On our show.
Which I was helpful for it.
He did.
Okay. So, Don.
On your show, yeah.
Here's what I want to do. Don, you know what? I want you to play Music Monday. You want to play Music Monday?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay.
Right,
are you, this is a personal question that I ask all of our listeners. Don, are you a wine guy?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, you can say that.
Don, you over 21?
Oh, heavens, yes.
Over under 21, Don.
Heavens, he is.
Voices are low these days in the youth.
I've got so this right here. If a wine guy or not, he said, yeah. Well, let's make that a full-on wine guy with this right here. We were told Armstrong said he wants to put milk in it, which is like one of the worst parts of the show that I think we've had.
I've seen that wine glass at one of the tailgates, and that's really cool. Glass. You can put all kinds of stuff in it.
Right.
Yeah.
So we not milk though, Don. Would you put milk in this?
No, heavens no, not milk. Not even.
Armstrong would.
Maybe
I would.
Maybe a little Crown and Coke or Sprite, but not milk.
I can go for a Coke.
Armstrong's putting Coke in it. All right, so here's what we're gonna do, Don.
Number 21.
These are on the line right here. Don, you can win one of these right here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna play Music Monday. Whether you have pen and paper or not, it would help. It would behoove you, but maybe it's whatever. All right, Don, are you ready?
Yeah, hold on a second. I'm gonna try to do this. Okay, let's go.
All right, Music Monday. Here we go.
We drive until the city lights dissolve into
Keep reaching out, and I'll keep coming back.
looks good on the sky. I was studying the road down at a place called the Jug with a girl.
All right.
Woo! All right, Don. There's some there's some throwbacks here.
That was tough.
Oh man.
I probably have 3.
Okay.
How many do you think you got, Don?
Man, 1.
One, and by the way, there's 10 points on the table, so you get 1 point for the song title and 1 for the artist. So if maybe you don't know the song title or the artist, you can still. Just by the way.
Okay.
And also for the new people here, including Isaac, if they say it in the clip that I just played, it's not the title. I can tell you that much.
Yeah.
Because I would never put the song title in the clip.
Which is helpful. That's a very helpful hint.
Which is actually a helpful hint.
All right, Don, we're going to play it for you one more time here.
Awesome.
We drive until the city lights dissolve into.
Keep reaching out, and I'll keep coming back.
Ooh, looks good on the sky. I was cutting the rug down at a place called the Jug with a girl.
Okay.
All right.
That's all you get.
Okay, Don, we're going to start with you here.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready, hit us with what you got.
Okay, 1, nothing. Had no clue. 2, Michael McDonald.
Armstrong?
3, nobody. What's nobody? Number 3, I'm going to say Keith Urban. I don't know the song. On number 4. And number 5, had no clue.
All right, you have 1 point.
All right, Don got 1 point.
Okay.
So, Don, it looks like
There you go,
JD. I'm looking at JD's paper right
It's
now.
pretty bad, Don. Don, I got to say, that is pretty bad.
I'm embarrassed, man. I'm embarrassed. I'm glad you can't see my face.
All right, Don, I've got number 1 being Free by the Zac Brown Band.
Correct, that's 2 points.
I've got number 2 being by the Bee Gees.
And what do you got for a song title?
I don't have a song title.
Okay, you're incorrect.
Okay, I'm incorrect. 3, is it Zara Larson? Is that the artist?
No.
Okay, I don't have the song title either. 4 is Blue Ain't Your Color. But
Yes, correct.
I did not get the artist.
It's Keith Urban, yeah.
Is it Keith Urban?
Yes.
All right.
That's the one he got.
There you go.
Don got Keith Urban. And then 5 is Give Me 3 Steps by Leonard Skinner.
Correct. How many is that? 5 points for you?
I think that is 4, 5, 6 points.
6 points.
No, it's 5. It's 5.
What is the title for 2?
Okay, JD, what do you got?
JD, what do you got?
I have Free Zac Brown Band.
Correct. 2.
2, I took a shot in the dark, said Boogie Wonderland.
No, do you have an artist?
Boogie Wonderland.
That's not correct.
I just say, hey, I'm
That's
taking
what
a
I'm
shot in
saying.
the
That's
dark.
not correct.
That's what I prefaced that with shot in the dark,
Okay,
so
okay.
we're all on the same
No,
page. There.
okay.
Everyone take a chill pill. 3, I have nothing.
3 have nothing. 4.
Nice,
4, I have
Don.
nothing. 4 is Keith
Good
Urban.
call there.
5, I have nothing.
So you got 3
So I have
points.
3 points.
So we got 3 from JD, 5 from myself.
Hey,
How about Isaac?
Isaac, go step up to that mic there.
Isaac, how'd you do?
I have a feeling Isaac bought
So,
this.
Don, we got Isaac in studio with us today. Long-time listener, first-time intern. He's going to give us his 5.
I gotta say, it's my list is kind of garbage. Nah, I didn't get a lot. So number 1, all I wrote down was country.
Love it. Hey,
I knew the genre.
That's
No
like
points for genre.
That's half a point. That's half a point.
Half a point. Number 2, I put Earth, Wind, and Fire? Question mark.
Okay.
Okay. Incorrect.
That's incorrect.
Incorrect. All right. Number 3, I don't have a song, but the artist Dua Lipa.
No.
Closest
Incorrect.
pop artist I knew. 4,
Okay.
I just put Blue by Keith Urban.
Okay,
then,
Keith Urban is correct.
Number 5, I had no idea, so I just put Chug. That's the word that came to
Chug.
mind when I thought of that.
I like
when I
it.
heard that song.
I like it.
All right, Don, here's what I got for
You
you.
want me to tell you what they were?
Yeah, what were the songs, Armstrong?
So I think this is the right order. They were, first one was Free by Zac Brown Band. That's
Boom.
correct.
Got
Second
it.
one was What a Fool Believes by the Doobie Brothers. The third one was Light On by Maggie Rogers.
Wow.
The fourth one, I believe, was Blue Ain't Your Color by Keith Urban.
Okay. Yeah.
And then the fifth one was Gimme 3 Steps by Leonard Skinner.
Yeah, it was.
So Drake's the winner.
All right, Don.
There it is.
Thanks so much for playing today. I know you didn't win the Coke and Jack. You a SicEm365 sticker. Nonetheless, if you 254. Yeah.
Awesome, guys. Appreciate your show. You're doing great.
Thanks for playing, Don. Hey, and how about a little bit of Bear games? Bryce Petty or Spencer Drango before you go?
Oh, Bryce Petty all the way.
Denzel Mims or Andrew Billings?
Denzel Mims or Andrew Billings?
Yep.
Ooh, I'm going to go with Andrew Billings.
Yeah, I am too. Final score for tonight's game?
Tonight's game is going to be Baylor 76, K-State 59.
You know what, Don? I got K-State scoring 0 points tonight against Baylor, and you can tell them I said it. Thanks for your call on the Impact Health Labs caller line.
He liked that.
All right.
What a great call.
Bye, Don. Wow. Music Monday action, Armstrong. I love
Music Monday is always a hit.
That game is so humbling.
All right. How about this? Jeremy Pruitt at Tennessee, gone. Out
of there.
Ousted.
Audi.
They said, you were ranked in the top 25 to start this year, and I don't care there's a pandemic.
Yeah.
We're firing you.
There's no quarterback there.
They also
There's absolutely zero quarterback
They said, you've
play
been
in
here
Tennessee.
2 years, and we're already riddled with scandals.
It's bad.
Please go away
I
now.
would expect more out of a Saban assistant. Ozzie goes
Saban
back to
assistant.
Alabama, rehabilitates as like an analyst, and goes and gets another D1
Odds,
FBS Power 5 job.
78,000%.
Yeah.
Because that's just
It
how
would make
goes.
sense.
He's,
It would make a
he's
lot of-
quality control at Alabama. He's a grad assistant.
He's already. I think there was somebody that did that not too long ago, wasn't there? Someone came in as like a GA at Alabama.
It was
like,
Brett Bielema. I'm
was
pretty
that
sure
who it was?
Nah, maybe
It
not.
was some big name that
not
came
sure.
back. Anyway, if you want to be a college head coach, Alabama is the equivalent of a JUCO for college head coaches to bounce
absolutely.
back. It is hilarious,
Bill
but
O'Brien.
it's so cool how it works that way.
Bill O'Brien. I'm Drake Toll. That's JD Piquel, Armstrong Sims. Coming up after this, we're going to hear from Kim Mulkey after Saturday's loss. This is dark.
Yeah.
It is a dark, dark press conference. You can tell the mood around the team is... It was just
Somber.
tough. They practiced for the first time the day of the game. So we'll hear from her. We'll break that down up next. I'm Drake Toll. That's JD Piquel. This is Up Tempo.
With so many companies and policies out there, it gets so confusing shopping for insurance, and I never know if I'm getting the policy that's right for me. Luckily, I met the team at the Niche Group Insurance Agency. With the Niche Group, you can go to one company and get access to coverage options from many insurance carriers, and you get to speak to a real person about your specific coverage needs. With the Niche Group, I know I'm getting the right coverage at the right price. If you need insurance, talk to the experts at the Niche Group at 1-800-258-8302.
It takes time to reach goals. It's a truth that applies to more than sports. It goes for your financial goals as well. You work hard for your money, and you deserve an investment strategy that lines up with your game plan. And Tom Albers, your Edward Jones financial advisor, can help. If your financial investments aren't putting forth the effort you desire, stop by today for a financial review. Tom Albers, 4301 Lakeshore Drive, 254-776-7605. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Stepping into the boots of a U.S. Army officer can add confidence and leadership skills to your son or daughter's career path. See all the things they can achieve in our boots at GoArmy.com. U.S. Army Waco Recruiting Company, 254-598-8131 or 254-776-1543.
Born in Waco, Brotherwell Brewing exists to serve the Central Texas community with locally crafted beer of the highest quality. They want to bring Central Texas closer to the brewing experience so everyone can enjoy well-made beer as much as they do. For 2.5 years, they've been bringing high-quality beer to Central Texas at their location on Bridge Street in East Waco. And this football season, you need to stop by on game day for curbside pickup or stop by their tent next to SicEm365 at Brazos Parking for your pregame refreshment. Brotherwell Brewing believes in community and bringing people together to enjoy products made in their community. So for your game day, whether it's a tailgate or at home, stop by Brotherwell Brewing for high-quality craft beer made right here in Central Texas, 400 East Bridge Street, and check them out online at brotherwell.com.
Boozers is the wedding ring store and more. If you're ready to get engaged or already married and want to upgrade your wife's ring for a special anniversary, Boozers is the place to go. With the largest selection of premier quality diamond engagement rings and wedding rings in Central Texas. They have 7 cases with over 300 styles of rings from top designers like Natalie Kay. Choose from yellow, white, or rose gold, plus beautiful top quality loose diamonds. With an in-house jewelry, they can also custom make anything you want. Bring in a picture or drawing and let Boozers create your one-of-a-kind pendant or ring. They can even use some of your old gold and diamond jewelry to create something new. At Boozers, you'll find a great selection of quality timepieces, and Boozers is the place for expert watch maintenance and repairs, too. They specialize in expert Rolex watch repair for fine jewelry, watches, custom work, and more. Go to Boozers on Valley Mills and Lake Air Drive in Waco.
Boozers, the wedding ring store and more.
Car has the trucks, man. They have the one for you. Crew cab, short or long bed, silver, black or blue. Texas size selection, great prices too. Richard Carr, he has the truck for you. Carr has the trucks, man. He has the truck you need. If you want the best truck, you want a GMC. Texas size selection, great prices too. Richard Carr, they have the truck for you.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
Welcome back into the Petty Clinic Low T Bears Den. I'm Drake Toll. That's JD Piquel, Armstrong Sims, Isaac, Brian Etheridge is in studio. It's a live studio audience. And if I had one of those little things, one of those little like that I can press the button and it goes, yay, like a little soundbite thing that we have at the postgame show, I would do that. But I don't. And I wonder if there's like someone...
Isaac can provide the clapping for us.
I wonder if there's someone in this room that could possibly change that may or may not be a partial owner of our company.
It's palpable.
It's palpable.
No, this is on me. I need to get on that.
That kind of is on Armstrong a little bit.
Yeah.
It's Martin Luther King Jr. Day today. It's going to celebrate that a little bit later on in the show with a list. What do we have? The top 10 HBCU athletes
it's a good
all
list
time.
Too. Great
Super
list.
Guy. Like all memorable names. You're going to be like, yeah, that's awesome. How about it? Also, last Saturday, so this past weekend, Kim Mulkey, her post-game press conference after the Iowa State loss, not just like this first clip is less even for the content of what she says and more so for the wow, you can tell Mulkey is still not 100%. Her team obviously is not 100% coming off of COVID. She said she's been cleared, but she still cannot taste, still cannot smell. And Kim Mulkey was on the press conference on Saturday, and it was obvious the toll that the entire 2 weeks of the COVID experience for the Lady Bear basketball program took on her and her squad. Here is Kim Mulkey.
We miss how many, I don't know, I have to go back and look at the film. How many layups did we miss? How many offensive putbacks did we miss? So our problem was offense. I thought the effort was good enough defensively. You held them to 8. Threes. They're hitting 13 and, sometimes 16 or so in a ball game. You outscore them 7 field goals. They get to the free throw line more than we did, and that was one of the ways I told them to win the game is you have to get to the foul line more than they do, and we didn't do that. So there were some good things in that we outscored them, but we missed too many cheap shots. We took the shots particularly in the paint area that they wanted us to take instead of making counter moves and getting in there and bowing our neck and finishing. But, you kind of, this game is a game of conditioning. It's a fast-paced game. And we got to get back on the floor, and we got to all be together at some point, and we'll get there. I don't know when, but we'll get there.
Yeah, Kim, do you just feel like perhaps even though you had the lead on occasion that they dictated the tempo and really kind of controlled the game?
Yes, I think they controlled the game from start to finish. We played very hard to stay in the game and to take leads, but I thought they controlled the game in a lot of ways. And listen, guys, I can make a million excuses sitting here. I've seen my team 2 times since December the 20th. And we haven't practiced all week. We miss Bickle. We miss Dejanay in a game like this. But, it's 2020, and it's the COVID protocols and everything. You just got to go play. And that's the way I approach that smaller group. I'm just like, go play. Let's go play.
How do you feel? How's everything going since we really haven't heard much from you? How are you doing?
I'm doing good. No taste, no smell. But I'm good. I've been cleared to come back.
Wow. A dark press conference as Kim Mulkey was breaking it down for analyst David Smoak, SicEm365's David Smoak in there on the last question. And her response is, I'm good.
Yeah.
When you can obviously tell, it's like the same when, when one of your friends sends you K and you say, what's wrong? And they say, I'm fine. And
what a
you're
great
like,
comparison.
Oh no, they're not fine.
Yeah.
Kim Mulkey, she wasn't fine. She wasn't fine. She basically said, I've been cleared to come back. Not that, oh yeah, I'm ready to come back and we're rocking and rolling. They had practiced one time the day of the game. You played college football. Imagine you don't get to practice for 2 weeks.
Impossible.
You're playing a game. You got to practice.
Absolutely.
You practice at 8 a.m. You're playing against Harvard at 7.
Absolutely impossible. And anyone that knows Kim Mulkey too, I mean, I don't know her personally, but Kim Mulkey isn't the one to take excuses. She wasn't looking for an out. She wasn't going to say, hey, I wasn't feeling great, so we didn't play to our best. She made 0 excuses. But you could tell, like you said, she wasn't by no means 100%. And the way Kim Mulkey coaches, she's so high energy. She's so in your face. She's so involved in the game. And to not have the energy to do that, I think also kind of made an impact on the game itself.
Absolutely. And the rest of her press conference, she broke down how the team ended up losing to Iowa State. There's some good stuff in here. Moon Urson and Nalissa Smith were also in the post-game presser as they broke things down. Before we get to that, we're about to play that clip. It's about 6 minutes long of that post-game press conference. SMU, Baylor tennis, the men's tennis team, and SMU right now duking it out in Waco. Baylor on top 3-0 in that. Live scores coming in as the men's tennis team is in action live. But we got Kim Mulkey, Moon Urson, Nalissa Smith, and let me tell you what, folks. This is one press conference. I'm not a huge press conference guy. I'm a big guy. I'm like 6'4".
Yeah, you're tall.
But I don't like press conferences.
Maybe that's why you don't like press conferences, because you're so tall. And people are like, who is that freakishly tall guy who's so good looking with the great up-tempo quarter zip?
I should say I am a huge guy.
Enormous.
But I'm not a huge guy that likes press conferences. So I'm not a huge press conference guy. There's a comma in there, something that makes sense.
Yeah.
But this press conference had me glued because I have never heard Kim Mulkey like this. Even in the face of losses. She lost to Iowa State last year. It was kind of glum. But this is just different. And now, this won't happen at Baylor, obviously, but Duke and Virginia, the women's basketball programs, have already shut down their season. They're not playing basketball again this year because of COVID. And I tell you, it really has taken a toll on the Lady Bears, especially in these last couple weeks. This from Kim Mulkey's press conference against Iowa State on Saturday.
Kim, you got great bench play. It just seemed like Jones kind of took over there, particularly late.
Well, I don't know when she did a lot of it. I thought she did a lot of it throughout the game. I thought Dee Dee couldn't go anymore, leg cramps. And Trinity was guarding, and I thought Trinity did as good as she possibly could, really playing out of position. And that's what great players do. They take over the game, and give her credit.
Coach, you went with a small lineup there in the fourth quarter for a stretch. I know that Queen was in foul trouble and Dee Dee had the cramps. What was the thought process going small there?
I don't want to use the word desperation, but just give somebody else a shot. We weren't finishing shots. We weren't executing things defensively. People were scoring, and I just thought, what the hell, give somebody else a shot. And I thought they did a great job. I thought that group on the floor, the crowd got into it with their effort. And Trinity Oliver, she gives you big rebounds and, got 2 offensive rebounds in there. I mean, that's all I was looking for, was just somebody to give us a spark, and I thought that group did.
Okay, Kim, given that you had a 2-week layoff from game action and then they go on a 15-0 run in the first quarter, is that just kind of a perfect storm of bad as far as the way things started tonight?
Well, I don't want to say I expected it, but I didn't expect great things when you're not practicing all week. I mean, what coach is going to sit there and go, yeah, baby, we ready to go. We got to go over a scout report on the floor. We got to do all these things. I'm a realist. I knew that we were going to be in for a ball game. And it was who you're playing. You could not practice all week and beat a lot of teams, but you can't beat that team. That team has 3-point shooters that expose us. That team has great coaching. It was the perfect timing for what you saw happen.
Was there a little bit of a shock there early when you look up and you're down 18-6?
Yeah, it was a little bit of shock. But we didn't panic. We knew, we had talked about that. We knew we had to stay in the game as best as we could. Like Coach said, we haven't been practicing, and it's just been a lot of things to it. But it was definitely a shock. But we never got down on ourselves. We fought to the end, and the results are the results.
And then for both you and Moon, I guess, they announced on the broadcast that it was a slow roll getting back, and your first practice was today. What did this kind of feel like to you, kind of scrambling and almost playing like a pickup game, so to speak, where not that it's 5 random people, but you're all coming together for the first time after an extended break?
It was different, but I mean, we all go through things. We got to figure out a way to push through it. We could have avoided it, so now we know in the future to avoid these things so we could perform like we do.
Any when are you expecting DNA and Caitlin to be back?
I don't know. whatever the protocol is. I can't tell you what days they, all your days start running together when you've been away as long as I have. Whatever the protocol is at Baylor on how many days you have to isolate. So I guess, and then when they come back, they have to go through the heart, whatever the heart stuff, they have to get checked out, and then they can't just come back on the floor. They have to do a certain percentage on the treadmill and all that stuff to get back on the floor. So I don't know. I haven't even asked a date.
Thanks, Kim.
Wow. Unbelievably dark press conference vibe of the press conference, too. Wow. I mean, the loss to Iowa State, and I don't think Kim blames COVID. No. Like you see a bunch of people that are like, this is just her making an excuse because of COVID-19, but it's not.
Yeah.
She doesn't ever come out there and say, yeah, COVID beat us today. No, that's not her message. Just that, hey, this is what we're going through right now, and it sucks.
Yeah. As much as COVID probably was a factor, she refused to admit that COVID was the reason for any of their poor play, which in reality probably was, but I appreciate that she didn't because every single team in the country is dealing with this. Like you mentioned, Virginia, Duke, they've already canceled their seasons. And for Baylor to still be playing in the face of this right after your head coach is coming back from COVID, I mean, I can't imagine the difficulty for preparation, let alone in-game difficulty. I'm very, very pleased that she didn't make COVID an excuse because it completely could have been, and nobody would have blamed her if she had said, hey, we didn't play well because COVID was a big part of that, and I just got back today. Like, that would have been a very reasonable excuse, but she didn't.
Absolutely. I'm Drake Toll. That's JD Piquel. Hey, hop on the YouTube Live, throw it up on your Roku, whatever you can do. Pop it on a TV.
Do it.
You got a restaurant. You're saying, hey, I got a barbecue joint, and I got this TV, and we're playing the news at all points in time of the day. And you're like, no. Play up-tempo.
Up-tempo
Let the folks watch and listen and see all the Baylor stuff. I'm Drake Toll. That's JD Piquel. Coming up next, we've got a couple of videos to run through here paying homage to MLK Day. Brian Etheridge is going to join the show later. We're going to hear from Scott Drew and Maceo Teague. How about coming up tomorrow, we've got Coach Jobson of the soccer team is coming on the show, joining us. Coach Maxwell of the equestrian team also coming on the show later on this week on Wednesday. Here's a little secret for everybody out there. Tweet this from the rooftops. You ever seen the Crazy Hot Matrix?
Live by it, die by it. Every day, I watch that every single morning.
I sent that text to Brian Etheridge, and like, Crazy Hot Matrix. And he was like, I live by the Crazy Hot Matrix. And I said, well, what if I told you the Crazy Hot Matrix guy from YouTube, like, combined 5 million views? He's coming on up-tempo this week.
It's going to be good.
He's coming on up-tempo.
We're going to
this
learn
week.
a lot.
The Crazy Hot Matrix guy. Also, tomorrow, resident sorority girl joins us. What is she talking about? The Bachelor's on right now.
No way.
She's going to break down The Bachelor for us.
What sorority house is
But
she
in
from?
Kappa. Tomorrow's Kappa.
Okay.
Next week, we're going to go Theta. The week after that, we're going Chi Omega. We're going to get like different sororities in here, build our sorority base.
I'm partial to Pi Phi. I'll just say that.
I, too, am partial to Pi Phi. I got my wings this weekend, actually.
Oh, hey, congrats.
But what we're going to do is we're going to bring them in. They're going to break down The Bachelor, because I don't know what's going on. I don't watch it. But in sports terms.
JD does, right?
JD does watch The Bachelor.
No, I don't.
JD was on The Bachelor.
I would rather watch Main Drive.
He was on, okay.
But they're going to break it down in sports terms. So, like, hey,
cool, okay.
Who's the quarterback of The Bachelor? I want to know.
I'm for it.
I'm curious
Yeah.
as to that. So we'll have a resident sorority girl on tomorrow. That is all coming up the rest of this week. Coming up next, so paying homage to Martin Luther King Jr. Day today and what that means for the nation and history as a whole.
Yeah.
I'm Drake Toll. That's JD Piquel. This is Up Tempo.
It was the biggest weekend of the new year for Baylor Athletics with 6 programs in action. Starting in basketball, the number 2 men's team notched a gritty win at Texas Tech 68-60, led by Davion Mitchell's 19 points, following slow offensive performances in his last 2 games.
Steps back 3 for Butler. All of a sudden, he's heating up.
On the women's side, battling COVID and lacking depth, Kim Mulkey's squad fell at home on Saturday night 75-71 to Iowa State, snapping a 61-game home win streak. On the tennis court, the number 15 Baylor men notched a 7-0 win against Lamar and a 6-1 win against Abilene Christian on Saturday, while the women notched 2 7-0 wins against Prairie View A&M. In track, Baylor's Casey Lightfoot broke the collegiate record for indoor pole vault at the Corky Classic in Lubbock, en route to being featured at number 8 on SportsCenter's Top 10. Lightfoot also notched the world lead. Rounding things out, the men's basketball team is back in action against top 10 Kansas tonight in the Ferrell Center at 8 p.m. on ESPN. I'm Armstrong Sims. That's all the news that is news in college sports. This has been Armstrong's Minute on SicEm365 Radio's Up Tempo.
When it comes to hauling the family and hauling cargo, see Alan Samuels. Get the king of minivans, the award-winning Chrysler Pacifica, or America's lowest price third row crossover, Dodge Journey. During the Big Finish event, get 0%, no payments for 90 days, and employee pricing for all on Pacifica. It's minivan first class. And get employee pricing for all on new 2020 Dodge Journeys. Happy holidays from your friend in the car business, Alan Samuels.
If you or a loved one or friend has been arrested and you can't afford bail, trust Terry and Chase Chapman at Chapman's Bail Bonds, covering Waco and McLennan County for over 25 years. Chapman's can bail you out anywhere with experienced, knowledgeable local agents who are committed to serving you professionally, respectfully, and with the highest integrity. Chapman's understands your privacy is important. Your freedom can be secured fast when you use Chapman's Bail Bonds. Open 24 hours a day. Payment arrangements available. Call Chapman's Bail Bonds. When you need help, 254-754-1603. When you ring, we'll spring.
At Ideal MRI, we feel blessed to be part of the Waco community. We're a small family business here in Central Texas. At times like this, the cost of healthcare has never been more important. And unfortunately, significant illnesses and injuries still occur. And that's why Ideal MRI is open and here to serve you through this difficult time. So if you need an MRI, ask your doctor about Ideal MRI. You can schedule online in minutes at idealmri.com or call 833-IDEAL-MRI.
One size fits all. That may be all right for an adjustable belt or cheap sunglasses, but when it comes to your financial needs, no one wants a one-size-fits-all strategy. Ben Erlinson, your Edward Jones financial advisor, knows that his most important goals are yours. That's why he takes the time to understand your needs, knowing you. That's how Edward Jones makes sense of investing. Ben Erlinson, 100 North 6th Street in Waco, 254-759-8533. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
At Baylor University, students find their place to shine. They're faithful friends and inspirational leaders. They're championship teammates and independent thinkers. They're on the cutting edge of high tech and in the halls of history. If you want to make the world a brighter place, you can. And if you want to shine in your own way, you can. The spark you need is already inside you. Bring it to Baylor, where lights shine bright.
Learning to navigate life in the COVID-19 world has been a struggle, and where and how to get tested has been one of the biggest challenges. Impact Health Labs has your answer. If you need mass testing for your office, church, dormitory, or school, Impact Health Labs is who to call. They will come to you, conduct the testing at your location, and have the test back within 24 hours. Most major insurance accepted, meaning your out-of-pocket cost is low. So no more waiting by the phone for days to find out the results. Impact Health Labs was founded by 3 Army licensed and credentialed medical professionals. They believe in accuracy, efficiency, and doing the job right. Call 254-744-6233 to set up your group screening today. Impact Health Labs, on-site, prompt, and accurate, taking COVID-19 head-on. Again, that number is 254-744-6233 or online at impacthealthlabs.com.
Welcome to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
Up tempo on your TV. Now you're watching. Your boss walks by and says, "What's that?" And you say, "Well, it's Up Tempo." And he's like, "Oh, well, that's kind of cool."
Yeah, that's kinda
and then
cool,
your boss watches it with you.
Yeah.
You get a raise. You become your boss.
Yes.
You own the company.
And you find out your boss is, in fact, Baylor Bigfoot.
It's only money.
It's only money, baby.
It's only money.
Now, back to the Bears Den with Drake Toll and Janie Pickell for the Blonde Boys Power Hour.
Oh, baby. The Blonde Boys Power Hour back in the Petty Clinic Low T Bears Den. Drake Toll, JD Pickell. Everybody's here. It's like a live studio audience today.
This is cool.
At 101 Elm Street. All right, paying homage to Martin Luther King Jr. Day today. Historic HBCU athletes that have made an impact on sports. I said we're going to break down the top 10. There's 25 on this list, and we'll just roll through. I mean, there's a ton of these that are so. Look at this. So, like, Doug Williams, Grambling State, first African-American quarterback to lead his team to win the Super Bowl in 1988 with the Washington Redskins.
Yep.
Keep going through these.
Oh, you want to talk about Doug Williams?
Yeah.
Or just other athletes?
Or just other, yeah.
Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice. What was he? Jackson State.
Yep. Wilma Rudolph, Tennessee State, came out on this list at number 3 in the rankings.
Michael Strahan.
Edwin Moses from Morehouse College at 4. Track. Yeah, you said Jerry Rice. Mississippi Valley State.
My bad. Walter Payton, Jackson State. I apologize.
Walter Payton. Jerry Rice, Mississippi Valley State. So the reason he ended up going to Mississippi Valley State, he said he highly recruited. Jerry Rice was highly recruited, but he said the only head coach to sit down in his living room and say, I want you to come play for me, was the coach from Mississippi Valley State. And he said that was it.
It's unbelievable.
That's why he went.
Unbelievable. There's some really good athletes that come out of these HBCUs. I got a chance to cover the Celebration Bowl a couple years ago. First class event. It's the national championship for the HBCU league. And it was such a cool event. So many good athletes, so many good players, and so many good people involved with that. The HBCUs have just been a staple of college athletics for forever, it seems like.
Sam Jones of the Celtics. You've got Andre Dawson from Florida A&M, a baseball legend with the Cubs. Buck Buchanan from Grambling State, Dick Barnett at Tennessee State, Lou Brock, Southern University, Lou Brock, a Cardinals legend, Southern University, HBCU. This is a loaded list of athletes here celebrating Martin Luther King Jr. Day and the impact that these guys had on the game. How about Steve McNair? Went to Alcorn State, played for the Tennessee Titans, was an unbelievable quarterback with the Titans. Air McNair, baby.
Yeah, probably the best dual-threat quarterback at that time, of all time. Really set the precedent for a lot of guys to come after him, like Michael Vick, like Lamar Jackson, like Vince Young. The list goes on and on. For Steve McNair from Alcorn State, set the tempo very early on.
Charles Oakley at Virginia Union, Shannon Sharp at Savannah State.
Yeah,
again, HBCUs riddled with amazing athletes. And how about, we talked about Deion Sanders.
Yeah. Head coach at Jackson State. And he's since flipped a lot of guys that were going to FBS schools, Power 5 schools. I think they flipped the number 2 JUCO corner in the country on signing day. His son, Shedeur Sanders, was quarterback committed to FAU, flipped him. Shiloh Sanders, who's a corner at South Carolina, flipped him. So they're going to probably run the HBCU for a little bit here, but he had a great press conference the other day. And he just said, look, the HBCUs are a very, very important part of the NCAAs, and we need to make sure these athletes are getting a shot to go pro. We need to make sure that these kids are getting recruited to these schools and being able to have a chance to make their dreams a reality at great schools that are the HBCUs. So it was a really great interview. If you haven't checked it out, it's on Instagram, I think. But it really was eye-opening for me to see, wow, these schools are very much a real player when it comes to these guys going pro.
And it's crazy to me when you think about the civil unrest of the 50s and the 60s, and you think about the protests for racial equality and the civil rights movement, these players are not that far away from that.
No.
These guys played at HBCUs, these men and women played at HBCUs in a time where being an African-American athlete was controversial at the professional level and at the collegiate level too.
In the midst of it.
In the midst of it, and to make it, like a guy, one on here that I really was Sam Jones, like Celtics. He's a part of that historic Celtics run. That's the middle of the civil rights movement.
Yeah,
it's the middle of it, and just a paving a way for not just basketball players, but people in all athletics, African Americans in all athletics. And so, paying homage today to those athletes that did. They paved a way for African American athletes to make it into really just the sports, the professional sports realm.
Absolutely. What it is today is very much because of those guys that made a way during the civil unrest. And we're kind of starting to see a trend to some of these players now choosing the HBCUs. Like I mentioned a minute ago, a lot of these big name prospects are starting to trend more the other way and say, hey, why not go make history at HBCU? Especially in basketball, I think it was Mikey. I forget his last name, but he just goes by Mikey on Instagram. He's like 1.1 million, almost 2 million. He's considering committing to an HBCU because of the influence he can have. And good for him. If he wants to go that way, good for him, especially in a sport like basketball where you can have so much influence, where one player really does hold all the cards at that level. It's exciting to see.
Absolutely. I'm Drake Toll. It's JD Piquel. Here's what we got. Baylor as well today released this video. Martin Luther King Jr. The quote says, God has a great plan for this world. His purpose is to achieve a world where all men will live together as brothers and where every man recognizes the dignity and worth of all human personality. Take a look at this.
God has a great plan for this world. His purpose is to achieve a world where all men will live together as brothers and where every man recognizes the dignity and worth of all human personality. He is seeking at every moment of his existence to lift men from the bondage of some evil Egypt, carrying them through the wilderness of discipline, and finally to the promised land of personal and social integration. May it not be that this is entirely within the realm of possibility. I prefer to live by the faith that the kingdoms of this world shall become the kingdoms of our Lord and his Christ, and he shall reign forever and ever. Hallelujah! Hallelujah!
That from Baylor University today. Again, paying respects to Martin Luther King Jr. Day today and what that means to not just the world, but specifically the sports world.
So I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, which is where the Martin Luther King Jr. Museum is. I've been there a few times, and every single time you go, just chills up and down your spine. It is eye-opening, jaw-dropping even, to see the impact that he had, not just on the African-American community, but all of America in general. And we're still seeing the impacts of it today. So a special day here. I'm glad we're able to celebrate it up-tempo, and glad that Baylor's doing the same with that cool tribute.
Absolutely. I'm Drake Toll. That's JD Piquel. Armstrong Sims is running. There's too many people to name at this point. We're just people keep walking in the door.
It's awesome.
I love it. Drake Toll, JD Piquel. This is Up-Tempo.
MP Electric has developed a quality-oriented electrical contracting service in more than 20 years in the industry. Led by President Mark Perry, our electricians go through a 5-year apprenticeship program, are licensed by the state of Texas, and getting continuous education annually upon renewal. In great part, the success of MP Electric lies with its management and professional expertise of its employees. All of our employees share a dedication to quality and commitment to serving the needs of our customers. For new construction and remodels, parking lot, lighting and surge protection, landscape lights, security lights, troubleshooting and repairs. For industrial manufacturing, food and beverage, paper and publishing, heavy industry, cement and rock crushing plants, water distribution plants, and utilities. For 20 years, MP Electric has serviced industrial, commercial, and residential products. We do service right. MP Electric Inc. at 1890 Galaxy Road, Waco. MPElectricUSA.com.
When we moved to Texas, we were like fish out of water. We didn't know anyone in our neighborhood until our Texas Farm Bureau insurance agent came to the house. She was so helpful and reassuring, a friendly face with that Texan hospitality I'd heard about. When we purchased a Texas Farm Bureau insurance policy, we knew we were making the right choice. We knew our family would be protected.
Stop by and see our agents at one of our 3 McLennan County locations.
Coverage and discounts are subject to qualifications and policy terms and may vary by situation.
Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, the team physician of Baylor Athletics. Our doctors specialize in the diagnosis and treatment of any and all sports-related injuries. Celebrating over a decade of service in Central Texas, our doctors are equipped to handle a wide range of issues, whether it's your foot or ankle, orthopedic spine care, your hand or wrist, knee and shoulder pain, or if you're in need of our arthritis or total joint clinic. Come see us at the new Baylor Scott and White Ted and Sue Getterman Sports and Orthopedic Center. Trusted doctors at Baylor Trust, Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. Our goal is to get you back in the game.
In the market for a quality metal building? Since 1943, Pioneer Steel and Pipe has helped Central Texas residential and commercial customers with metal building design, panel options, building components, and trim options. Pioneer Steel and Pipe's residential line is energy efficient, offers low maintenance, reduces insurance payments, is impact resistant, and carries up to a 45-year limited warranty. In addition, they can also help you find a metal building contractor for your project. Pioneer Steel and Pipe with locations in Waco and Bryan and at pioneersboys.com.
Do you or your kids get nervous about going to the dentist? Stonewood Dental, Dr. Steve Childress, he can help.
I've spent a career taking care of patients who as children had bad experiences, and now they're adults that hate going to the dentist. If I get a kid at 3 years old and they come every 6 months and it's a happy experience, it's normal for them. Now they have an accident at 6 or 7 or 8 at school. Now they have a broken tooth or a trauma, and they have to come here. They're used to lights, they're used to water in their mouth, they're used to experience, they already trust us. It's amazing what we can do with that kid without it being a negative thing. But if I see a 6 or 7 or 8 year old that's never been to the dentist, and now they have a trauma or an unfortunate unexpected toothache, it's harder to do that for that kid and it not be somewhat of a negative experience. So bottom line is I try to teach kids and adults and teenagers and everybody the way I'd want my family treated, which is where it's a necessary part of life. You just take care of it. It doesn't have to be that big a deal.
Learn more, stonewood-dental.com.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
Welcome back into the Penny Clinic Low T Bears Den. You know, we contemplated. We said, should the tagline of the show be the fastest 3 hours in radio? Should it be a Baylor take on your lunch break? And then someone recommended, they're like, hey, how about this isn't your grandparents' show? Or like, it's not your grandparents' show.
Oh.
But then I thought, it is. It is your grandparents' show.
Love this show.
It's your show. It's your grandparents' show. It's your grandparents' show. This show's for everyone that's a Baylor fan.
Extended family.
You know whose show this is not?
Armstrong.
It's not my show. It's not your show. It's not Armstrong's show either.
I will not take this.
So we've
Armstrong
got
is now walking out of the building.
Baylor
said something about I quit.
Is it not Momo's show?
No, not anymore. It used to be.
It's still Momo's show, right?
I think it's the afternoon show.
No, the Halls.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
that's
okay,
a good point.
It is her show.
And
her little
she
lamb.
claim. The whole Hall family. That was
Yes.
good.
Yeah.
So we've got today Baylor and Kansas men's basketball. We're going to hear from Scott Drew, Maceo Teague later on in the show. We're also going to hear from the Kansas City Star Jayhawk beat writer Jesse Newell. He comes on at 1:05. But for now, we're joined by a very special guest. He asked me today. He said, "Hey, can I come on the air?" And I said, "Well, Brian, you signed my checks, so yes." And he is now in studio with us. Brian Etheridge of SicEm365 Radio has a bunch of special announcements for us. Brian, I would have brought you in here whether you sign our checks or not. We always love having you on.
I appreciate that and appreciate what y'all are doing and the show. It's doing great. So, number one, we have a new event coming to McLean Stadium, February 27th. Top Golf will be there. SicEm365 will have their own bin. We'll have spots to give away. It'll be an exclusive type of thing for us, especially in our bin, but also, for the community. We'll get all that information out here in the next day. We should be tweeting that out, Instagram. It's going to be a big event for Waco to have that many people. So, playing Top Golf in McLean will be a fun thing. We'll have a great time with it. And I believe, there will be available libations, obviously from the Baylor Club. So it would not be just a basic event. It'll be, a party. If there are people who want to, buy a bin for a day, buy a bin for an hour, you're going to be able to do those things. And that's something that we're excited to be a part of. This group's coming in before they get the Top Golf opened up over in off of 340. So that'll be something that we're going to do. The next thing we have coming up on SicEm365, we have a sort of we call it a meat-a-thon. Me and Blake Blackmar will be cooking tons and tons of meat. We're going to have very limited seating for that. That'll be at the studio on the roof. We'll have overlooking the Brazos. You can see McLean from here. We'll have just a certain amount of tickets to sell. All of our sponsors will be here. We'll have beer from Three Nations, Brotherwell. We'll have Don's Humidor here if you want to buy a cigar from those guys. But the cost of your ticket will take care of the food and your beverages. Anything outside of that you had to do on your own. So if Don's, we get that lined up with them for them to be here. If you want a cigar up on the roof, have a good time with it. So, we might have let JD and Drake come in and be here for that.
There we go.
Big cigar guy. Live show?
No, not a show. This is going to be on a Saturday on on March 3rd.
What?
And just have a good time. Just have for our members.
So you're saying we don't have to work on Saturday, March 3rd?
Yeah, you'll be carrying the meat up and down the stairs. That's what your job's going to be.
Brian, I was telling you, we will do a live show if you want us to do a live show there.
Oh, no, you have live legs. You got young legs.
That is true.
God.
So Blake and I will do all the cooking. We're going to do, I think everybody, we're going to do fillets, strips, ribeyes, pork loin, pork shoulder, you name it, ribs, beef rib, pork rib, and everybody will get at least an ounce of filet, an ounce of strip, an ounce of everything like that, and then probably a quarter pound of brisket on top of it. So it'll just go from 12 to 6. You stay up on top of the rooftop. You enjoy drinking some cold beverages, and have a bartender up there do the whole thing. It'll be nice. It'll be if it's inclement weather on 3-3, we'll have, we got some tinning we can put up there if we need to. But, our great landlord here, the Kincaids, will have them there. And if you're interested in one of the places they still have open, you can do that. You can even talk to them there. But, it's going to be a fun time. So, it's going to be 50 to 100 people on ticket-wise. And if you don't have a ticket, you don't get up there. And except for the people working, and that obviously, and you'll see us. We'll have some special guests there. We were lining those people up, so obviously if some coaches are available to come, they'll have their places. But we just want to make sure it's something for our community and something for our SicEm365 listeners, subscribers, and other people like that. So it'll be put out first come first serve. If you don't buy the ticket, don't come to me later. I'm sorry. It's going to be something that buying meat served for 100+ people. It's pretty expensive, and we're not going to have any left over. We're going to cut it as close as we can, and it'll be a fun time.
Yeah. I want to ask this right now because I know there'll be a million people asking. What is the best way to buy a ticket for this event?
We'll release it on the website, and you just go buy it in our store off the website. We'll have the counter on there, whether it's the 50 or the 100. And as soon as it's done, it's done. If somebody went in there and bought all 100 tickets, it's over. They'll have 100 tickets to give out, but it's going to be around $50 a person. So it won't. Obviously, if you're getting those cuts of meat, Waco Custom Marketplace, will be providing those for us. We're going to go get the nicest we can get the prime, and you'll be able to cut your fillets with a butter knife, or pretty much. I know Armstrong and has had those, and he can chime in if he wants to about how great that product is. But Blake does a great job with brisket, and I think we're going to shoot the shows as well on here of us, how we prepare them, and then we put them out on the channel later so everybody can watch it. Yeah. And make sure that we washed our hands and followed all guidelines and did everything correctly.
Where do we sign up to be a taste tester to make sure that's not poison? Because I will gladly fall on that sword.
I think you'll be invited to be here, and we'll have you up there, and y'all can mingle with our guests. And that's the one thing about it. We have created a great community with SicEm365, and it continues to grow. We want it to grow. We want everybody to subscribe to the YouTube channel, download the app, subscribe to the website, and make sure that everybody understands that you are part of our Baylor family and Baylor community in this website here. And that's what we've always tried to make sure that we know. We always express that to everybody. You might not like us sometimes, but that's part of being a family. And but most of the time you love us. And that is, I felt that, obviously with what I went through there at the end of the year, and everybody reaching out to me, and I've been thinking about doing this for a while. This is something I want to give back to our community, doing it. And even though it's going to cost a little bit, that just covers what it's going to cost us to make everything. I mean, you get Blake to drag his smoker up here, and then for me and him to sit out there and cook for pretty much 14 to 18 hours, it's going to be something that is well worth what that price is.
I'm sold.
Yeah,
I'm ready to buy a ticket right now.
I'll buy.
I'm also very hungry right now.
Yeah, that did it for me.
Watering.
I haven't had lunch today. I have not eaten lunch yet. We're two weeks into the show. I haven't had lunch yet.
And I haven't cooked steak for y'all in a while either. I mean, I did that for all during the season.
That's for the football games, yeah.
Yeah, for all the football games during the pregame show, and that's the kind of thing we'll do. And I mean, if y'all had them, how great the product is from Waco Custom Marketplace. And, we really love them being a sponsor with us, and something that we can do, and it helps them out as well. And that's what we try to do. We try to help our sponsors and make sure that they know how much we appreciate them. So those guys will be here, and everybody can give them some thanks as well.
I know you get this question too. Can you bring your own meat? Yes or no? Because I know people are going to ask that. People are going to ask, hey, Brian, you're a grill wizard. Can you cook my $7 filet that I got at HEB a few minutes ago?
No. That's the one thing is you don't touch a man's grill when he's got the tongs. And so you just and I don't think you really want to touch Blake's grill. I mean, he can probably eat all of us.
All right.
There it is.
Brian Etheridge joining us in studio today. Brian, K. Moss, what else you got for us? Any other big news?
Armstrong's full time. I guess about the only thing we announced that. We got you two on the air.
You're not
all odds.
You're not ready to announce the morning show yet?
Not yet. It's close. It's closer than everybody thinks. That's the one. It's been crazy, man. I put it up on my LinkedIn yesterday about how 2020 was a year like any other. We had friends laid off. I had friends outside of this community laid off, had people in this community laid off. We've seen most of them get back to work due to COVID. We had 3 friends that got laid off, and David, Paul, and Craig. We hired them, started a radio station, and now here we got YouTube.
Yeah, they do.
And so January 4th, that's like we just sort of sped it up 4 months and got you on the air now. So, I mean, if I'm almost going to die, I guess it's going to be September this year instead of December. So
bingo.
We're going to have a good time with that and keep going. And but yeah, it's been crazy. And this website continues to grow. The community continues to grow. We're excited. I mean, another one thing is, we have, new sponsors trying to come on board with us right now. We're trying to, get those taken care of. And obviously, get y'all a lead sponsor. And if we do that, it's going to be a great day.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right, Brian, before we get you out of here, we got some Bear games to play. Let's see. We've got Bryce Petty or Spencer Drango.
Without Spencer Drango, you have no Bryce Petty.
Wow. Okay.
So, I mean, really.
So who are you going with? Spencer
I'm going to go Drango.
Wow.
Sorry. I mean, and the one thing is Petty. I mean, I always look back during that time period. Petty, I mean, 2 Big 12 championships him as quarterback. Pretty amazing. And but Drango, man, that was a turning point in recruiting as well.
Yep.
That was a 4-star beating Texas out for that kid, and he had a unfortunate injury, or he probably would have played in the NFL for quite some time.
How about Denzel Mims or Andrew Billings?
Oh, man, I'm gonna go Billings.
Wow.
This one is 51% Denzel Mims right now, so very close.
The reason I did that. And here's the funniest thing is Colt and I were at the camp in Marshalltown. I mean, in Marshall. Not Marshalltown, because it's in Iowa. But in Marshall, Texas. And got to see Denzel Mims at 6'3", 150 pounds.
Wow.
If you go out there and search, there's video that I took of him at that camp still on Twitter. And he's just real thin. And he was an unknown kid that was just extremely fast. And he went out there and ran every rep, though, at cornerback and wide receiver, just took everybody's turn.
Jeez.
And got the offer the next day after the camp, as camp rules were back then, and committed on the spot.
Love it.
And he's done amazing things, but I grew up outside of Waco. Billings is a Waco kid. I got to stay home.
There it is.
On that.
Wow. How about tonight's score? What's your score prediction for Baylor and Kansas tonight?
83-72. No, 83. No, I had 83-67.
83 blowout in Waco.
Still the over, though.
It is the over. I'm taking the over.
Okay. Bears on top.
What's the line?
9.
Minus 8.5. Yeah.
So it's 9. Yeah.
Basically.
Depending on who your book is.
Yeah, I do. I'm down with the over. I'm confident in the over.
Okay.
I like it. I like it. Baylor's offense getting back on track. Brian Etheridge, thanks for joining us in studio today. Always love having you on.
Anytime, guys.
Commander in Chief.
How about the Petty Clinic? No, it's the Impact Health Labs caller line. T-Rex is on with Up Tempo. T-Rex got a guest coming in at 105. Let's make it quick, but I can't go without taking your call, man.
Oh, I appreciate it. Well, I want to first give a shout out to Armstrong. Congratulations. You're now a productive member of society and you can pay your taxes. So I appreciate that. And the city of Waco will appreciate the interstate that you're going to be building with those taxes. So congrats there, and congrats to 365 on being in the position to be able to do that. So that's awesome news for everybody. Anyways, about to grab some lunch, head over to the women's tennis match. If you're in Waco, well, actually, never mind, because you can't just get in. Well, no, actually, it's at the Herd, so you can get in. If they aren't at capacity, come watch some tennis. You got the day off. It's a great holiday. Come watch some women's tennis. Beat Rice, old Southwest Conference opponent.
Let's go.
Tonight, I'll go ahead and just get it out of the way. Bears by 90. It's going to be 99, or I'm not going to try and do any crazy math. 99-9, Baylor. We're going to shut out Self in the first half, and then the FBI is going to shut him out in the second half.
I love it. Baylor on top tonight. How about Bear games? Give me Bryce Petty or Spencer Drango.
I'm going to go Petty.
Petty. And Denzel Mims or Andrew Billings?
I'm going to go Andrew Billings because he can bench press a tractor. So, he can, he'll work out with our new offensive lineman that's coming in. He'll drive his tractor to practice, and then Andrew Billings will move it out of his parking spot.
That's pretty good. All right, T-Rex, thanks for joining us on Up Tempo. Hey, call us back and give us a tennis update here in about a half hour, yeah?
All right, I'll try to. SicEm Bears, and get those tickets on the thing because I'm going to eat all the meat. I'm going to buy all 100 because I'm going to eat 100 people's worth of food.
This guy's dropping this guy's just dropping a roll. He said, hey, I'm buying all the tickets. I'm just dropping it all.
It's effectively sold out as of now.
All right, thanks for your call, T-Rex.
SicEm Bears.
All right, we're going to hit a quick Armstrong's Minute and a break here. Get Jesse Newell in from the Kansas City Star. This is Up Tempo.
It was the biggest weekend of the new year for Baylor Athletics with 6 programs in action. Starting in basketball, the number 2 men's team notched a gritty win at Texas Tech 68-60, led by Davion Mitchell's 19 points, following slow offensive performances in his last 2 games.
Steps back 3 for Butler. All of a sudden, he's heating up.
On the women's side, battling COVID and lacking depth, Kim Mulkey's squad fell at home on Saturday night 75-71 to Iowa State, snapping a 61-game home win streak. On the tennis court, the number 15 Baylor men notched a 7-0 win against Lamar and a 6-1 win against Abilene Christian on Saturday, while the women notched 2 7-0 wins against Prairie View A&M. In track, Baylor's Casey Lightfoot broke the collegiate record for indoor pole vault at the Corky Classic in Lubbock, en route to being featured at number 8 on SportsCenter's Top 10. Lightfoot also notched the world lead. Rounding things out, the men's basketball team is back in action against Top 10 Kansas tonight in the Ferrell Center at 8 p.m. on ESPN. I'm Armstrong Sims. That's all the news that is news in college sports. This has been Armstrong's Minute on SicEm365 Radio's Up Tempo.
With your Ram truck from Allen Samuels, you may not have to plow through snow and mud or pull heavy loads, but you could. During the Big Finish year-end event, you get a Ram deal like no other. Employee pricing for all, 0% for 84, and no payments for 90 days. Ram 1500 Lone Star for Christmas. No other truck comes close. And ask about Big Finish pricing on Ram Heavy Duty and Ram ProMaster for your business. Happy holidays from Allen Samuels.
How did Edward Jones become one of the biggest financial service companies in the world? By not acting that way. Financial strategies, one-on-one advice, it's a big difference. And that's why Brad Wilson, your Edward Jones financial advisor, makes sense of investing. Experience the difference for yourself. Brad Wilson, 250 Sharon Drive in Woodway, 254-776-4337. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
At Ideal MRI, we feel blessed to be a part of the Waco community. We're a small family business right here in Central Texas, and our goal is to bring down the cost of healthcare while maintaining high quality. At times like this, the cost of healthcare has never been more important, and unfortunately, significant illnesses and injuries still occur. That's why Ideal MRI is open and here to serve you through the difficult time. We offer premium MRIs just like a hospital with state-of-the-art technology and specialists, but you'll pay less. Sometimes thousands of dollars less, whether you're using insurance or not. At Ideal MRI, we accept most insurance and there are no hidden costs. Even offering financing if that's needed, everything included in the price, and you'll not get something as a surprise in the mail later on. If you need an MRI, ask your doctor about Ideal MRI. They'll know. You can schedule an appointment safely from home online in minutes at idealmri.com or give us a call, 833-IDEAL-MRI, idealmri.com.
Texas Farm Bureau Insurance has protected fellow Texans with auto, home, health, and life insurance since 1952. With more than 260,000 square miles of land and 27 million people, that's a lot to cover. Whether you're wrangling cattle or wrangling kids, we're proud to protect Texans and all Texan ways of life.
Stop by and see our agents at one of our 3 McLennan County locations.
Coverage and discounts are subject to qualifications and policy terms and may vary by situation.
Waco Custom Marketplace is your home for holiday favorites for parties and the time with family. Various specials available in-store and online. A variety of steak gift boxes with 4 ribeyes for $70, 4 bacon wrapped fillets for $55, or 4 New York strips for $50, and all come with steak butter. Fall snack box for watching a game or wrapping presents or hosting people at your house, including summer sausage, split horn, and jalapeno cheese, and salted crackers for only $35. 2 pieces of lobster tails with herb butter and 2 bacon wrap fillets for $60. Order online or call in advance to ensure availability, or drop by Waco Custom Marketplace at 425 Lake Air Drive. Waco Custom Marketplace has a full-service butcher shop for customized orders or cuts of your favorite steaks or beef tenderloin or specially ordered prime rib roast. Plus, what you want with pork, poultry, seafood, and more. Waco Custom Marketplace, 425 Lake Air Drive in Waco, or WacoCustomMarketplace.com.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio. Call us on the Impact Health Labs caller line at 254-339-1122. For your company's mass COVID testing, log on to ImpactHealthLabs.com.
Want the truth? You can't handle the truth.
Now, back to the Bears Den with Drake Toll and Jeannie Pickell for the Blonde Boys Power Hour.
Let's go, baby. Welcome back in the Petty Clinic Low T Bears Den. It's a big day in Waco, a top 10 matchup. Baylor and Kansas squaring off tonight in the Farrell Center. Number 2 Baylor, number 9 Kansas. And we're joined now by Jesse Newell of the Kansas City Star to break this thing down. Jesse, the Bears, I tell you what, Kansas got the best of them in Waco last year, but it's a new year, a new dawn, my friend.
Well, it is. It's a new Baylor team. You know, for a lot of last year, they were ranked number 1 and high up, but Kansas had a really good team too. This is just different. Baylor and Gonzaga are up a tier above everybody else. And obviously Kansas right now is not to that level and still sort of trying to find itself. So you see that reflected in the Vegas line. And I looked this stat up, KU 9-point underdog. Bill Self has never been a 9-point underdog at Kansas.
Wow.
So that's definitely something to watch tonight.
Wow, and that's kind of where I wanted to start, too, with the line. When you look at that, when I saw it, if you're a sports bettor out there, take our advice and don't bet that, please. But when you see that, what's your first thought?
Well, I wrote about this in the quick scout preview I did for the game, but I think it's more a reflection of Baylor than it is Kansas, honestly. Now, listen, for Kansas, this is not a typical Bill Self team, and this is partly a credit to Bill Self, which is KU doesn't dip its level. You know, this week, Duke, North Carolina, Michigan State, Kentucky are all not ranked, and Kansas is. So, I mean, let's not talk about like it's the end of the world for Kansas. Kansas is about the 15th best team nationally. I think they were 9th in the AP poll, but they're probably a little worse than that. They've won some close games. But to me, again, this speaks to Baylor. You know, if you are efficiency monsters like the Bears have been this year, if you beat 11 of your 12 opponents by double figures or greater in a lot of those games, and you have shown yourself to be kind of on that different level along with Gonzaga this whole course of the year, then this is what happens. You know, you get a home game against Kansas, and unlike last year where I think KU was slightly favored 2 or 3 points, or maybe it was a pick 'em somewhere around there in that game in Waco, you have this 9-point spread. And so this is just sort of, it's uncharted territory for Kansas, because usually when KU starts 4-2 in the conference, they don't feel horrible about their chances because usually they are the big dog. Well, this year there were 2 other big dogs. There is obviously Texas, who already beat Kansas at home, and then there's Baylor, which is on a level of its own. So I think this speaks more to Baylor than it does to Kansas, but it also speaks to Kansas some because Bill Self usually has them always at this sort of level. They're probably about right here at this point.
Wow. And what's the buzz around this team right now? You mentioned it, 9-point spread. Never has Bill Self had a spread like that against him. Does this Kansas team feel disrespected? Or are they back on their heels a little bit? I mean, what's the buzz around this team right now?
Yeah, it's tricky. So Kansas was supposed to have a home game against Iowa State on Saturday, and it got postponed because of COVID. And it was going to kind of be a nice break for them. I don't mean break in the sense of not having to play, but break like, hey, they just lost at Oklahoma State. They kind of need to find themselves a little bit. And to have that game in between going to Baylor would have been sort of nice, but it didn't happen. So now they're still coming off that game at Oklahoma State where they lost 75-70, really got dominated most of the first half, went to a 2-3 zone and a box or a triangle and 2 to try to get back in it. This is stuff that Bill Self does not like to do. He doesn't like to do anything but play man defense. So KU kind of fluked its way a little bit back, still was up by 3 with a minute left, and then Oklahoma State executed down the stretch. But a bit of an identity crisis for Kansas right now. You know, both offensively and defensively, the Jayhawks have questions, and they really haven't answered them yet. You know, early in the season, they had their offense go through Jalen Wilson, who's a really talented guy. He plays the 4, sometimes the undersized 5 for them. He can drive, he can pass, he can shoot. And what he really did early in the season was he would take advantage of going against bigger defenders and shooting over the top of them or driving them. lately he hasn't been as good, but it's kind of coincided with David McCormick having an uptick. He was kind of who Bill Self expected this whole season inside to potentially lead KU in scoring. He got off to a really rough start, was super inefficient with his shots, but he's been a little bit better over the last few games. So KU sort of needs to pick a lane there, whether they're going to be McCormick-led or Wilson-led. And then defensively, it's been it's been a challenge with McCormick in the game because it's tough for them to guard ball screens. He does not slide as well as Udoka. He doesn't move as well as him. So they've tried a lot of different things and not many of them have worked. So when he gets in a ball screen, KU starts to play scramble mode defensively, and all of a sudden they're kind of behind the 8 ball, especially for teams with 3-point shooters. And look who they're playing tonight, Baylor, a team with a lot of 3-point shooters. So we'll see if Baylor tries to expose that. But right now, KU's kind of a team without an identity and without something, as Bill Self would say, it can really hang its hat on.
How about last season in Waco, Dodson and Azubuike? Those were the two names that really just tattoo that on your forehead in Waco. Azubuike had an unbelievable breakout game in that one, starred on the College Game Day Saturday game between Baylor and Kansas. But this year, those two names don't exist in Kansas uniforms. That was the difference last year. What needs to be the difference this year if Kansas is going to pull off a big upset on the road?
Yeah, you're right. I was trying to look at kind of what the differences were for Kansas offensively this year compared to the past. And it was funny because, I went and looked at some synergy stats and stuff. And it's like, oh, KU's not scoring as well in pick and roll situations with the ball handler. Yeah. Oh, that would be Devon Dotson. Well, they don't have Devon Dotson anymore. Yeah, good job, Jesse. Great research. Way to go. But no, you're right. I mean, there's that. And then, like I said, defensively, KU could really guard ball screens last year. They sort of copied what Texas Tech and now Baylor have made very popular, the no middle defense, the icing, forcing it to one side. But it worked much better with Udoka in there because Udoka could cover space. He could block shots. He could kind of funnel things and keep things away from the rim. And they haven't had that same success with David McCormick. When I'm looking at this matchup, to me, it's more about what can Kansas do to expose the very few weaknesses that Baylor has and kind of pick at those. And if you look to me statistically for Baylor, a couple things, they crash the offensive glass so hard, but it does leave them a little bit vulnerable in transition. KU's been a bad transition offense team this year, so I don't know that they necessarily can do that. So that's one potential thing, which might not be good. And then the second thing, Baylor's not, they don't have the David McCormick type size where they, kind of big lower base to keep you off of the offensive glass. And so there's guys like for KU, Ochai Agbaji, David McCormick, Jalen Wilson, who can crash the offensive glass hard. They have been really good at that this year. So that's another area. The problem for KU is that they only have Marcus Garrett at point guard right now. DeJuan Harris is the backup. He's had fewer minutes lately. And then the true backup, Bryce Thompson's out with a broken finger. So for them, just getting the ball to the rim might be a problem because we know Baylor turns people over at such a high rate, and that's going to be an issue to even get shots up to begin with. So I think for Kansas, getting any sort of shot up and then really crashing the glass, that's probably their best chance in this thing. But Baylor defends threes well. They keep you off of the 3-point line. They obviously run in transition. They get you on the offensive glass. They make threes. They definitely could expose KU in ball screen situations. So I think that reflects the 9-point line. I mean, a lot of things are going to have to go right for Kansas to hang in this game.
And on the flip side of that, Baylor has so many shooters. They have a guy like Jared Butler who can take over the game at any point in time. Hasn't done it recently, but has shown he's able to do that. Defensively for Kansas, what do they need to do to stop this Baylor offensive attack?
Well, Kansas does, again, they went the Baylor Texas Tech route where they will switch 1 through 4. So again, Marcus Garrett will start on Jared Butler, but if they set one guard to guard screen, then it could be Christian Brown or whoever. KU's communication needs to be better. It was bad against Oklahoma State, leaving some shooters open. And that's what allowed Cade Cunningham to really go off early in the game there to kind of get Oklahoma State its lead. But for Kansas, I really want to know what they're going to do in ball screen situations when McCormick's on the court. I think that's a big issue because if you are trying to sort of play what they tried to do against Oklahoma State is they tried to double team ball screens. And what it did was they didn't wall up well enough. Cade Cunningham found somebody on the other side of the court, and all of a sudden it's a 4-on-3 situation or a 3-on-2 situation, and KU's in scramble mode. And if you're in scramble mode, it leads to either a layup or an open three. So for Kansas, they got to get something figured out. I mean, if you cannot play David McCormick in there without other teams just exposing you defensively, then you got to do something different. And what KU did, they went to a zone and they went to a triangle and 2, which worked a lot better because if you watch tonight, if KU goes to that, it will allow David McCormick to kind of camp in the lane and allows him to not go out there and fish all those ball screens around, which left KU in trouble early in the game. So they've got to figure something out with that, or they got to go zone, or potentially they got to take David McCormick out of the game. But again, he's been on an offensive uptick. Bill Self has liked what he's done lately. So I don't see them benching McCormick, but they have gone away from that 5-out, 5-guard look. And potentially that's something they could go to if things get really bad against Baylor. They haven't gone to it the last 3 games, so maybe they won't. But that is kind of the riddle right now, is how to play David McCormick and how to play defense with him and still get after opponents when he's the one that kind of leaves you a little bit in limbo because of his inability to stay in front of somebody on a ball screen.
All-star analysis here from Jesse Newell of the Kansas City Star, covering the KU beat. Kansas-Baylor tonight in Waco, 8 o'clock. Jesse, from the Baylor perspective, the Baylor side, the Bears have shown, especially in their last few games, they don't have to play perfect. They don't even have to play their best basketball to still win by a lot, win on the road, just win, wherever, whenever. What is it going to take for Baylor, though, to knock off a blue blood in Kansas?
Well, I was talking to Gary Bedore, who works at the Star with me on the KU beat, and I guess, he was listening to some of the interviews for Baylor, and I think it's a smart move. You don't want, if you're Scott Drew, you don't want your guys thinking about them being 9-point favorites. You want to get them focused on something that motivates them to get them going and not come into this game as the huge overdog, if you will, the huge favorite, because this has not been the situation that Baylor has had most of the time against Kansas. And so I think there was some reference to kind of getting back at last year's game, which obviously that was a huge game in Waco and ended up kind of setting the course for the rest of the season for both of those squads. So I think you do that. I think you focus your team on a little bit of revenge factory. You keep them motivated. But I mean, frankly, if you're a 9-point favorite, you just want things to go as they're supposed to go. I mean, for Baylor, maybe you have a little bit of a worry that 3-point shots don't go down. I think they're going to get open looks against Kansas. Kansas does give up, more than an average number of threes. And like I said, if you can get them and if you can get KU in ball screen situations with David McCormick and pass the ball, as I know Jared Butler's really good at doing, you're going to get open threes if you want them, or you're going to get shots at the rim. So again, just working your offense, doing what you do. I think that's good for Baylor. And, you gotta guard the right guys for Kansas. KU has not shot it well from 3 lately, but they have guys who can fill it up if you let them get a couple off early free. Christian Brown, if you look at his stat line, I mean, it's crazy. Like, he'll either make 6 of 9 threes or like 1 of 6. Yeah. He's like one way or the other. So
he's Mac McClung.
If I'm Baylor early, I really want to lock down on Ochai Agbaji, and I really want to lock down on Christian Brown, because KU's best chance here is going to be to make some shots. They haven't made them lately. And again, their confidence can waver, both of those guys. Ochai is more of a spot-up shooter. Christian Brown's more of a shooter who can shoot off the dribble. So kind of watch that with those two different guys. They kind of score in different ways from the 3-point line. But if I'm Baylor, I play up the revenge factor. I try to make this not into a 9-point favorite game. I try to make it into a mono-y-mono game. And then I really try to stick to both Ochai Agbaji and Christian Brown early to make sure they don't get off to good starts. But, outside of that, like I said, KU's not great in transition, and potentially their best chance is just to get to the offensive glass. But if you heat KU up, again, they don't have a ton of primary ball handlers. They have wings, they have combo guard types, but not guys they want the ball in the hands of when there's a lot of pressure. So if you heat up Marcus Garrett, he hasn't really looked like himself lately, with some fatigue and maybe some, I don't know, he had an illness earlier. Who knows if he's fully recovered from that. But if you can heat him up a little bit, I think Baylor's got a great chance of making KU very uncomfortable and making it tough for them to get shots up.
And Kansas is still Kansas. Like, let's not get it twisted. Kansas is still very much a blue blood, a power in the Big 12 that everyone is still I guess, aware of, if that makes sense, even though it's a down year. So 9-point spread, I don't think I'd take as much of that into account. When it comes to this game, though, last year, obviously, for Baylor fans, that was the biggest game in Baylor history. How much can Kansas draw on last year's win? And again, it was a big stage last year, big stage today, maybe not the same as it was a year ago, obviously a different team. How much can Kansas draw on the confidence of last year's win?
Well, I think you're right, and Kansas can mostly draw on the confidence of being Kansas. The Jayhawks, I just mentioned their loss at Oklahoma State. Before that, KU had won 11 straight Big 12 road games. That's crazy. I had a crazy stat. In the year 2020, both the Kansas City Chiefs and the KU Jayhawks men's basketball team did not lose a true road game, which is just crazy. I mean, that doesn't happen to one team, much less two. From a specific area. So I think Kansas, again, you draw upon that your coach is Bill Self. You draw upon that you've been in these situations before. You draw upon, hey, you lost your last game, even though it was sort of a close contest. But nonetheless, you're 11-1 in your last Big 12, 12 Big 12 road games. So that doesn't worry you that much. the problem for Kansas is, again, this is just different roster. This is different personnel. You mentioned what won Kansas the game last year. They set a bunch of middle ball screens against Baylor's, no middle defense. They got those guys not helping as much, and they threw lobs to Udoka Azubuike, and Devon Dotson scored, and Isaiah Moss hit a couple big shots, and those guys are all gone. But that's not the same Kansas team as it was a year ago. So for KU, you're not. I mean, KU probably plays the 9-point underdog card because that's not a position that they're normally in, and that's a disrespect card. And KU loves to play disrespect card even when it's not there most of the time. I mean, any team, any coach tries to play that thing to their advantage as much as they can. So, if you're Kansas, you say you've been there, you have the Hall of Fame coach on your sideline, and also, you won last year in Waco. You've been there before, and you've won a majority of games that you played there. So you try to draw upon past experience, even if this is, like I said, this is a different game. 9-point spread, no matter how you slice it. That's a little bit different from years past.
So for Baylor, from a crowd standpoint, and really for any team in the Big 12, last year's game, sellout crowd, 11,000 strong in the Farrell Center, which it doesn't take more than 15 to make that place loud. This season, maybe 2,000, 2,500 in the arena. And even for Allen Fieldhouse, it's the same thing where you're looking at just such limited capacities. Is there a way for a crowd to play any part in a game in a top 10 matchup where there's only 2,000 people?
I think there is. It's not going to be as much as years past. And I was just looking up the stat last year. Big 12 home teams won. I think it was 65 or 66% of the games in league play, and this year it's at 38%. Jeez. So there's a little bit of a difference between the home factor. And again, some of that might be that maybe Baylor's played a few more home games or a few more road games than anybody else. Wherever Baylor's playing, they're probably going to win the game right now. So. From what we know, from Scorecasting, the book that was famous out there, fans, whatever we want to think about it, fans mostly impact officials. So if there are enough people there to make noise when there are supposed bad calls against Baylor, to the point where subconsciously the officials look at this and say, hey, I better even things up. Hey, maybe I'm making some bad calls. Maybe I'm not sure I'm doing this thing the right way. And Baylor gets a few more free throws or a few more charge calls, whatever the case may be. Obviously, the charge calls are a big part of what both Baylor and Texas Tech do defensively. Then that's a win. I mean, that's where you get the home court advantage. So, a few thousand fans can still impact it, not as much as maybe turn the momentum as an Allen Fieldhouse or a Farrell Center can do with full capacity. But that's what you hope in home game. You hope you get one or two calls that you wouldn't get on the road, maybe in a clutch situation if the game is close. And that's definitely still possible, even with limited capacity fans, because we know those people that are in there are going to be fired up to see Kansas.
Jesse Newell of the Kansas City Star with us. Jesse, last question for you here. When you look at the 9-point difference that the experts are claiming, when you look at that, do you think Baylor is able to cover? Yeah, I put in the Quick Scout today. I think I have Baylor covering in this game. I think I had them by 14 instead. And this is it's tough to gauge these ones that are really high numbers because, again, Bill Self, you're not thinking the Bill Self's a 9-point underdog very often. But I got to be honest with you, Kansas really needs to show something. The Oklahoma State game was not good. I mean, the way Kansas came back in the Oklahoma State game was they played a defense that they don't practice, and Oklahoma State didn't attack it well and missed some shots. And that's being frank. KU did not play well in that game. Offensively, David McCormick scored and was efficient, but when you're shooting all turnaround jumpers and not getting many dunks, like Udoka Azubuike feasted on dunks, that sort of thing can kind of come and go. So offensively, I'm worried about Kansas in this game. And if you're trying to match up Baylor 3-pointers with David McCormick turnarounds in the lane, I'll take the Baylor 3-pointers or the Baylor drives to the rim. And then, defensively, again, if Dave McCormick's in there and Baylor tries to set any ball screens, KU could be in trouble, and it might force them back into playing zone like they don't want to do. So KU they're at a point in time where I think they don't want to play this game because they just have so many unanswered questions, and they don't really know who they are at this point. And with so many guys returning for Baylor, we saw this with Kansas last season. Kansas brought back Udoka and Devon Dotson. They knew who they were, and that's why they were so good in January, February, March. Baylor brought back all their players. They know who they are right now, and Kansas is still kind of searching. So I think this is a tough spot for Kansas to be in, and I like the Bears to cover. Wow. Jesse Newell taking Baylor by 14. Jesse, the Kansas beat writer at the Kansas City Star. Thanks so much for joining us today on Uptempo. All right. Thanks, guys. That was awesome, man. To get the analysis from the outside perspective, too, and to know that Our man Jesse Newell has confidence in the Bears tonight.
14?
By 14 at home in the Farrell Center.
2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns. Number 9, Kansas. Number 2, Baylor in Waco tonight, 8 p.m. I'd say be there.
You'll be there.
I'll be there.
You'll be there in the
I'll
flesh.
be there.
You wearing up-tempo quarter zip deal? Or are you going?
I'm wearing this.
Yeah, baby.
Come on, you know I'm
Yeah,
representing. I'm
baby.
repping up tempo there. How about this? After this break, we are going to hear from Maceo Teague and Scott Drew on tonight's ball game. Gonna be a big one in Waco. They break things down for us, and let me tell you what, Drew's got a pretty good outlook on this one. You'll be excited to hear from him. I'm Drake Toll. That's JD Piquel. Armstrong Sims. You know what? Let's run a little Armstrong's Minute. This is Up Tempo.
It was the biggest weekend of the new year for Baylor Athletics with 6 programs in action. Starting in basketball, the number 2 men's team notched a gritty win at Texas Tech 68-60, led by Davion Mitchell's 19 points, following slow offensive performances in his last 2 games.
Steps back 3 for Butler. All of a sudden, he's heating up.
On the women's side, battling COVID and lacking depth, Kim Mulkey's squad fell at home on Saturday night 75-71 to Iowa State, snapping a 61-game home win streak. On the tennis court, the number 15 Baylor men notched a 7-0 win against Lamar and a 6-1 win against Abilene Christian on Saturday, while the women notched 2 7-0 wins against Prairie View A&M. In track, Baylor's Casey Lightfoot broke the collegiate record for indoor pole vault at the Corky Classic in Lubbock, en route to being featured at number 8 on SportsCenter's Top 10. Lightfoot also notched the world lead. Rounding things out, the men's basketball team is back in action against Top 10 Kansas tonight in the Farrell Center at 8 p.m. on ESPN. I'm Armstrong Sims. That's all the news that is news in college sports. This has been Armstrong's Minute on SicEm365 Radio's Up Tempo.
MP Electric has developed a quality-oriented electrical contracting service in more than 20 years in the industry. Led by President Mark Perry, our electricians go through a 5-year apprenticeship program, are licensed by the state of Texas, and getting continuous education annually upon renewal. In great part, the success of MP Electric lies with its management and professional expertise of its employees. All of our employees share a dedication to quality and commitment to serving the needs of our customers. For new construction and remodels, parking lot, lighting and surge protection, landscape lights, security lights, troubleshooting and repairs. For industrial manufacturing, food and beverage, paper and publishing, heavy industry, cement and rock crushing plants, water distribution plants, and utilities. For 20 years, MP Electric has serviced industrial, commercial, and residential products. We do service right. MP Electric Inc. at 1890 Galaxy Road, Waco. MPElectricusa.com.
When we moved to Texas, we were like fish out of water. We didn't know anyone in our neighborhood until our Texas Farm Bureau insurance agent came to the house. She was so helpful and reassuring, a friendly face with that Texan hospitality I'd heard about. When we purchased a Texas Farm Bureau insurance policy, we knew we were making the right choice. We knew our family would be protected.
Stop by and see our agents at one of our 3 McLennan County locations.
Coverage and discounts are subject to qualifications and policy terms and may vary by situation.
Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, the team physician of Baylor Athletics. Our doctors specialize in the diagnosis and treatment of any and all sports-related injuries. Celebrating over a decade of service in Central Texas, our doctors are equipped to handle a wide range of issues, whether it's your foot or ankle, orthopedic spine care, your hand or wrist, knee and shoulder pain, or if you're in need of our arthritis or total joint clinic. Come see us at the new Baylor Scott and White Ted and Sue Getterman Sports and Orthopedic Center. Trust the doctors at Baylor Trust, Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. Our goal is to get you back in the game.
In the market for a quality metal building? Since 1943, Pioneer Steel and Pipe has helped Central Texas residential and commercial customers with metal building design, panel options, building components, and trim options. Pioneer Steel and Pipe's residential line is energy efficient, offers low maintenance, reduces insurance payments, is impact resistant, and carries up to a 45-year limited warranty. In addition, they can also help you find a metal building contractor for your project. Pioneer Steel and Pipe with locations in Waco and Bryan and at pioneersboys.com.
Do you or your kids get nervous about going to the dentist? Stonewood Dental, Dr. Steve Childress, he can help.
I've spent a career taking care of patients who as children had bad experiences, and now they're adults that hate going to the dentist. If I get a kid at 3 years old and they come every 6 months and it's a happy experience, it's normal for them. Now they have an accident at 6 or 7 or 8 at school. Now they have a broken tooth or a trauma, and they have to come here They're used to lights. They're used to water in their mouth. They're used to experience. They already trust us. It's amazing what we can do with that kid without it being a negative thing. But if I see a 6 or 7 or 8-year-old that's never been to the dentist, and now they have a trauma or an unfortunate unexpected toothache, it's harder to do that for that kid and it not be somewhat of a negative experience. So bottom line is I try to teach kids and adults and teenagers and everybody the way I'd want my family treated, which is where it's a necessary part of life. You just take care of it. It doesn't have to be that big a deal.
Learn more, stonewood-dental.com.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
Boom.
Hey,
Let's go.
Hey.
Come on.
Hey.
Come on. Drake Toll.
What an
JD
instrumental.
Paquel. The Blonde Boys Power Hour times 3 today. This guy did not have to take his dog to the dog park. He said, I'm staying.
Down.
I'm not leaving.
Put that dog down.
He's not freaking leaving. Well, you can't say that on the air.
I said it just now.
Oh, my gosh. We got a lot of stuff to cover at the end of the show. 15 minutes left.
He was sick, dog.
Baylor, Kansas tonight after BU knocked off Texas Tech. Scott Drew, Maceo Teague spoke to media yesterday afternoon, night. And I got about 9 minutes of clips from that. It's good stuff. Scott Drew, the outlook he has on Kansas coming off of the win against Texas Tech, alongside Maceo Teague, who needs a big night after he exploded offensively on Saturday. This from Scott Drew and Maceo Teague.
Maceo, is it very difficult to do this quick of a turnaround considering the level of the team you're going to play?
I just feel like it's getting us ready for the NCAA tournament. So I feel like at the end it's preparing us for what our end goal is, and which is winning a national championship. So yes, it's definitely difficult, but we're definitely determined to get a win tomorrow.
Do you bring up last year's home game here at all, or has that been brought up at all?
We're focusing on this year, focusing on our defensive principles, focusing on what we're going to do on offense, and our plan and how we're going to execute.
What's different about KU this year compared to last year when you all look at them on film?
They don't have Devin Dotson, but they also have a lot of good players still returning on their team. They also don't have Azubuike returning, but they have a lot of good players. I mean, they got Braun on their team, who's pretty good. They have Abaji, he's pretty good. I mean, they got a talented core group of guys, and we just look forward to playing them tomorrow.
So when you guys look at your performances, especially in yesterday's game against a ranked opponent, what do you like from your team, and what do you think you guys need to work on going forward?
We like the grit that we play with. Feel like we play with a lot of joy. Didn't feel like everybody played great, but we definitely came out with the win. What do we need to work on? Just going forward, just executing our game plan when we play Kansas tomorrow.
One thing that they still do very well, and that's hit the glass. And how do you guys look at that aspect? I mean, you guys are a very good rebounding team as well, but how do you look at that matchup tomorrow night on the boards?
We just got to be physical. Going to the offensive glass, got to be physical. Going to the defensive glass, got to be physical. Basketball is a very physical game, and we just got to be ready to go out and fight for 40 minutes.
Scott, have you recovered yet from Lubbock?
It usually takes another night. So it's hard to sleep after a game, and I think players feel the same way. So we're glad we don't play today.
Does it help facing such a good team on such a quick turnaround just because you know the players are going to be up for it, or is it just very difficult regardless?
Well, the toughest turnaround is Saturday, Monday. The blessing is no matter who you play on Big Monday, it's going to be good. It's the Big 12. But the standpoint, it's a home game that makes it easier.
And what do you see from the Jayhawks this year?
Well, I think just watching a lot of film in a short period of time, because you watch people, but you don't study them until you're ready to play them. And Coach Self does an amazing job always adjusting his scheme to fit his personnel. And I know they lost a tough one at Oklahoma State, but again, it's a talented team that he puts them in the right positions to be successful. They're getting better. And you got to be a good team to be top 10 in the nation for most of the year. I think the whole year, probably.
Scott, David McCormick's played a lot better recently. How does he make it kind of tough for you all on Monday?
Well, he's tough on anybody from the standpoint with his size and skill level. There's not a ton of bigs in college basketball. Everyone seems to be downsizing. So when you got a dominant presence like him, he can be a handful. So we'll just try to make it as tough as possible on him and not give him anything easy, hopefully, and make him earn everything.
Scott, you had said these games are coming, the tests. I'm sure coaches would like to win every game by 20. But the fact that you were tested, you were pushed to the very limit, will that help in these games coming?
No question, because that's what most Big 12 games are. If you're blessed to get separation, enjoy it. Doesn't happen often. And to play in the NCAA tournament, to advance, to win in the Big 12, you got to be able to win close games.
Last time Kansas came here, they beat you guys by 3. Do you talk about that or no? Do you not talk about it? Like, is there an extra?
Thanks for bringing that up, Nikki.
Sorry, you gotta ask.
The great thing is we had so many returning players from last year. At the end of the day, personal experience does most of that talking. Now, we'll like anytime you play somebody, you're going to break down what worked, what didn't work. And obviously they did a lot of things scheme-wise that bothered us. So hopefully we'll be better prepared and put our guys in better position to be successful. But that's the advantage to having a veteran team with a lot of returners. Personal experience is the best teacher for all of us. And everybody remembers that wasn't a good feeling last year.
And do you think that because the depth of your offense, it doesn't put so much pressure? Like yesterday, Jared didn't have as many points in the TCU game, but it's not as much pressure because other people step up and then it's not that big of a deal.
Well, definitely first and foremost, having the number 1 defense in the country right now helps. Our rebounding numbers have slipped a little, but they're still very good. And then offensively, the biggest thing you want to do is get shots and make them the right shots. And if you're taking the right shots and you're getting the right shots, some nights you're going to make them, some nights you're not. And then when you face any team that has multiple guys who can score 20 on any given night, it definitely makes it tougher to defend, and it allows you to win games on nights when guys don't have their A game, because at the end of the day, you're not going to shoot well every time. And that's one of our strengths, is definitely our depth.
And I wanted to ask about last year when Kansas came to the Farrell Center. It was a huge environment, full house, obviously full capacity. What do you remember about that last year, and what do you expect for tomorrow, where it's sold out but at that limited, reduced capacity?
Well, I think all our games are sold out. The question is, we just need, when people can't come, that we let other people use their tickets because of social distance and making sure everyone's safe. We want to definitely abide by all the rules and take care of the fans. So I know we're going to be sold out every game. We're just hoping we get as many fans in as possible. So if you can't come, please turn in your tickets so others can come and participate in a safe environment. The other thing is, as far as last year goes, I mean, you remember the night before, students camping out in the Farrell Center. That was an unbelievable atmosphere. You remember students waiting and faculty waiting in line early in the morning, and then the whiteout, all the white T-shirts, and College Game Day being here, and just the excitement. And I mean, everything was really good except for the last 30 seconds. If we could have changed that, I mean, it'd been a great day. So, but again, anytime you play a Big 12 game, especially on a big Monday, it's going to be a good environment.
Scott, I want to ask you, I asked Maceo this about the Battle of the Boards tomorrow, because Kansas is obviously such a good rebounding team as well. How do you look at that? Is this going to be a matter of a number of who wins on the offensive glass, or how do you see that being, how that factor plays out tomorrow night?
Well, I think it's twofold. One, we had more second chance points than Texas Tech, but they had more offensive rebounds than us. So you got to capitalize when you get them, number one. Number two, the goal is always to limit your opponent and try to get as many for you as possible. And a lot of offensive rebounding comes from good shot selection. I mean, if you're putting the defense in rotations, it's helping with the rebounding as well. So I know Kansas is a very good rebounding team. We're a good rebounding team, and those kind of things matter. And in big games.
Next question from Jason King with SicEm365.
Oh, he's got one now, huh?
Yeah. No, I've noticed, for years now, and I know your guys watch a lot of games and are on Twitter and stuff, but you always hear the road to the Big 12 title runs through Lawrence, Kansas. Do you think that ever is irritating to your players or motivating, or just when people kind of say that stuff? Or
I think everybody gets motivated differently. I know our players have obviously heard it, and until someone continually beats Kansas, then it's factual and true. So again, credit Coach Self for the program that he's established and built there, and how many championships they've won in the toughest league in the country, 6 out of the last 7 years.
Yeah. Also, you mentioned Garrett, and I know Jared and Marcus seem to like going against one another. What's your take on? Have you heard Jared talk about that? About how he likes playing against Garrett and Davion as well? When you have those high-profile names going at it.
I think that's the great thing about the Big 12. There's so much respect with the teams and the players, and our guys. It's a lot easier to motivate our guys to play Big 12 games just from the standpoint they know what a battle and war it is, and they want to be tested against the best. So, Davion and Mark Vidal were up for Defensive Players of the Year, and Marcus won it, and that just shows you how good Marcus must have been because because Davion and Mark are as good as we know of.
Bringing it back to the Petty Clinic Low T Bears Den, Drake Toll, JD Piquel, Scott Drew, and Maceo Teague breaking it down for us tonight.
Boom.
Number 2 Baylor, number 9 Kansas. Drew's outlook on the game tonight being a night. Look, you got to look at the 9-point line and say, hey guys, please don't look at that.
Don't touch that.
Like if I'm a coach, if I'm like, A, if you're a sports bettor, don't touch it.
Yeah.
B, if I'm a coach, my team's favored by 9 against Kansas at home, it's like, I hate that. I hate that.
Do you think they look at the line too? Like there were guys on my team, even at Cornell. Our game still had lines, and guys would be like, hey, we're favored by 3 this week, and be like, yeah, we can go over 3. Or nobody's betting on the game, obviously, but you look at that and you're like, wow, people must think we're pretty good, and then you start to buy in and say, hey, hey, maybe we are pretty good. Like Nick Saban, the rat poison, that whole thing. Like, do you think that's a thing for this Baylor team?
It's an A1. It is an A1 storyline. So I think the entire team knows that the line is 9, and it is unimaginably large for a Baylor-Kansas game. If you'd have told me 17 years ago, you'd have said Baylor and Kansas playing in Waco, Baylor's the number 2 team in the country, and they're favored by 9 points against Kansas, I would have told you probably nothing because I was like 2.5. But
I was going to say, that'd be impressive.
I would have been as stunned as anyone else.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think the fact that it is 9 points and the fact that Baylor has become the program that they are right now speaks so much to Scott Drew, speaks so much to this university that they gave him the time to be able to build this thing into what it is now based on what it was when he took over. But this is exciting. I think this is really going to be, or it could potentially be, I know it's a COVID year, but it could potentially be the changing of the guard in the Big 12. I know Kansas has run the show for however many years in a row it is now, but Baylor is a team that, anytime you're favored by 9 points, the experts, quote unquote, are buying in, and they're experts for a reason. And so, Jesse Newell came on here and said, I think Baylor by 14. I think you and I both, our jaws dropped to 14 points. That's a whole lot of points, Jesse. Why don't you calm down? But he works for the Kansas City Star, so he knows what he's talking about. All that's to say, I'm talking really fast, but I got a lot on my mind here. All that's to say, tonight could be a pivot in terms of who is the big dog in the Big 12. And if Baylor comes out and covers that 9 points, call it an overreaction, but I think that solidifies Baylor's spot as the number 1 head honcho in the Big 12.
If Kansas wins, they're a top 5 team.
Yeah.
If Baylor wins, they're number 1 in the country.
Number 1 team.
I'm Drake Toll. That's JD Piquel hitting a break. Be right back. We got a whole lot of content still to cover today. Celebrity birthdays. We got some, this day in sports history. A lot going on. It's a busy Monday. I'm Drake Toll. JD Piquel. This is Up Tempo.
At Baylor University, students can shine in their own way. Or should we say their own ways? Because there's no limit to the ways Baylor students make the world a brighter place. Whether they're leading a student organization or following a higher calling, getting advice from faculty, or taking part in world-class research, pursuing their dreams, or working toward their dream job, students find their place to shine at Baylor, where lights shine bright.
Riverbend Liquor and Wine has their easy-to-access drive-thru open and convenient and clean in-store location on the corner of Lakeshore Drive and North 19th Street in Waco. Riverbend Liquor has the best and most extensive variety of craft beer selections in Waco, and Balcones whiskey, including single malt, pot still, baby blue, rye, brimstone, and the all-new Lineage in stock. Riverbend Liquor and Wine, family-owned and operated, and a hidden gem in Waco on Lakeshore Drive at 19th Street. And find out more on Facebook and Instagram.
From the first workout to the last practice, sports is an incredible challenge. Hi, this is Dan Engel with the First National Bank of Central Texas, and we're proud to support each athlete, every parent, and our educators. From families, small businesses, to the biggest industry, we're here to help. With remarkable products like instant issue debit cards free at all of our banking centers, we've got banking ideas that fuel big dreams. The First National Bank of Central Texas. Familiar faces making local decisions.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Let Camille Johnson Realtors guide you seamlessly through the process of buying your dream home or selling your current one. Commercial, farm and ranch, or residential, Camille Johnson Realtors can smoothly and successfully lead you through any transaction. With a team of 28 experienced agents who are excited about serving you, Camille Johnson Realtors services the entire greater Waco area. If you're contact Camille Johnson Realtors, 104 Midway Center in Woodway, or find them online at www.camillejohnson.com. Camille Johnson Realtors, elegant, charming, warm. Welcome home.
Waco Custom Marketplace is your home for holiday favorites for parties and the time with family. Various specials available in-store and online. A variety of steak gift boxes with 4 ribeyes for $70, 4 bacon wrap fillets for $55, or 4 New York strips for $50, and all come with steak butter. Fall snack box for watching a game or wrapping presents or hosting people at your house, including summer sausage, split horn, and jalapeno cheese, and salted crackers for only $35. 2 pieces of lobster tails with herb butter and 2 bacon wrap fillets for $60. Order online or call in advance to ensure availability, or drop by Waco Custom Marketplace at 425 Lake Air Drive. Waco Custom Marketplace has a full-service butcher shop for customized orders or cuts of your favorite steaks or beef tenderloin or specially ordered prime rib roast. Plus, what you want with pork, poultry, seafood, and more. Waco Custom Marketplace, 425 Lake Air Drive in Waco, or WacoCustomMarketplace.com.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio. Here's Drake Toll.
Welcome back into the Penny Clinic Low T Bears Den. Drake Toll alongside JD Piquel. Blonde Boys Power Hour all day today. Riverbend Liquor and Wine text line. Garland Bear said, Sam Kendricks is the American record holder at 6.06 meters in pole vault and is at his prime age of 28. So he is by far the current best American.
I think that's outdoor.
Yeah.
And it's outdoor because he did mention, hey, the outdoor record is still yet to be captured by the own Casey Lightfoot.
Right. That's the thing. So,
indoor,
yeah.
though.
Okay, Sam Kendricks, you can have that. He can be the best American, whatever. But Lightfoot's world lead in the indoor and will hopefully surpass that in the outdoor. We'll see what he does in the outdoor. But how about
21 years old?
21.
Like,
the prime,
give me a break.
The guy's going to go to the Olympics this year, 22. He's going to go to the Olympics again in 4. So he will go to multiple Olympics, maybe even 3.
I don't know what the pole vaulter's
I don't either.
Like career
like when do
expectancy
you
is.
when do you retire, become a coach, and then just go around and have a speaking tour in America?
Gotta be tough on your spine.
So
right?
crazy. So crazy.
Gotta be tough on the spine.
Michael from Dallas says, JD on the show all day. Clutch. That's
Thanks,
what I'm saying,
Michael.
Michael from
Thanks,
Dallas.
Michael.
That's what I'm saying. Statman update. Number 15, Baylor men's tennis has defeated SMU. Match still in progress with Baylor leading 5-0, but that is all you need. All you need is 4 because it goes to 7. Baylor wins it against SMU today in tennis. All right, Armstrong. We have the video of Casey Lightfoot breaking the indoor pole vault record, and this will give you chills. Let's roll it.
There's so much about that video that's cool.
You can see as he's coming down. Like when he clears it, he's still in the air and he throws a fist.
He just knows he cleared it. He knows he's got a world record. Does he get to pick the song that's going while he goes down the runway?
I don't think so.
Because that adds to it. Also, the turquoise kicks, that adds to it. Also, he's wearing a sleeve. I don't know if that's like common for track leads to wear a sleeve while they pole vault. So his drip is like up here. His ability is up here. Like the guy is a phenomenon in every sense of what a phenomenon is. Casey Lightfoot, again, the most frequent guest on Uptempo.
Oh yeah, he's our first guy to ever come on twice. Yep. Casey Lightfoot. Yep. I love that dude.
Get him verified.
I want to have him again when he breaks the record, when he re-breaks the record in like 2 weeks. Let's do it again. Let's just run it back with Casey Lightfoot. Every monumental moment in his life, like Casey Lightfoot got engaged. Oh, he's coming on the show.
Yeah, I want him to get engaged on Uptempo.
Oh my God!
To come into the studio, yeah.
Also, I want us to be in his entourage when he goes to Japan. He says, "Yeah, I'm going to Japan, but only if Armstrong, JD, Drake, and Isaac, and everybody else in the studio."
Isaac's got to be there.
Yeah, I want everybody else. I want us all being with him in Tokyo.
We're gonna get to watch him in the Olympics this summer, knowing like, oh yeah, that's Casey Lightfoot from Uptempo.
So fun.
That's the guy from Uptempo. So
electric.
Here's this. We've got, you know what? I need it. It's a Monday. I need a Monday pick-me-up. Inject this into my veins, Armstrong. It's hockey, but I don't care. Play it.
1, 2, 3. You ain't sacrifice attitude, USA. Oh, mama, don't you cry. Oh, mama, don't you cry. USA hockey is do or die. USA hockey is do or die. Take a hockey stick in my hand. Take a hockey stick in my hand. Go on off to a foreign land. Go on, place that I be a star. USA hockey will go very far.
Worst line.
USA hockey will go very far.
No,
Take the Gatorade in your glass. Take the Gatorade in your glass. We just kicked your. We just kicked your.
The beat go off? And they're all just juiced. They're also, it should be noted, hockey athletes are just a different breed in terms of lingo, like style.
Lingo?
Like lingo.
USA hockey will go very far.
Like their lingo, like there's their own, like similar to lacrosse, what do they say? Like they call everybody a beauty. And like instead of just like saying you're good at pocket, oh yeah, I rip puck, eh? Like me and my boys, we rip sendies all day, and like I don't know, just like skate on the ice. Me and my boys have mad flow. That's how they
you're
talk.
Just doing
that's
like
how
a
they
northern
talk.
accent.
No, I'm telling you,
that's what you're doing. Right there.
So I went to Cornell, which has one of the best hockey programs in the world.
Yeah,
and they all were just crazy hockey.
Oh yeah,
guys
for sure.
And they just talked like that. It was so funny.
But then I'll tell you, I have my cousin played hockey. But he was from Texas, so he talked like he was from Texas.
It's like a normal person.
Yeah. I grew up.
So it probably has a lot to do with where you're born.
Bologna,
but also,
Arkansas.
they do have their own language for
the
sure.
track capital of the world. So, I was just talking to myself.
Oh, yeah.
I was saying I grew up in Bologna, Arkansas, the track capital of the world.
Yeah, they love track there.
6-time track state champions in a 9-year span. And you poked the wrong bear. You poked the wrong bear.
I didn't even know there was that many people that cared about track.
Wow.
I didn't even know that
you
was
just
like...
crap on track every day.
I love track. I don't know why I'm getting so much shit for track. I love track. I ran track my freshman year of high school. I would have kept running if we had been able to do it.
You can't say I love track and then smack it in the face right after that.
No. I said I didn't know that many people cared about track in terms of like the strategy behind it. Like I said, this was my quote. I said, football and basketball has more strategy involved than track. Anybody that says otherwise is just wrong or misinformed about football and basketball strategy.
And then you said track has no strategy. Verbatim on this show. Yep.
I don't know.
I have the clip. You know I have
the clip.
You know I have
and you'll
the clip.
post it and not tag me, and then all the soccer moms in Bologna, Arkansas will come after me.
Track moms.
That's going to happen.
Jens Danielson today decided to leave Baylor. He says, "Thank you, Baylor. The last 2 years have been special to me. With that being said, I'm excited for the next chapter of my life. Hail WV. I can only think Hail WV would be West Virginia."
Is there a header change yet?
Yeah, there is a header change.
There's a header change?
Oh, yeah.
Dang. So it's official.
And a bio change.
Wow.
Bio and header change.
Assistant offensive line coach for West Virginia, Jens Danielson.
Judas.
Places.
We get a chance to beat him next year. We get a chance to beat Jens Danielson.
Gonna love
Can
that.
we get him on the show? I feel like with all of this hype, we need to get him on the show at some point.
Also,
he's doing West Virginia things.
True.
Yeah. They have Wi-Fi in West Virginia?
Nope.
No?
They have cousins. Also,
I've been there.
There it.
West Virginia?
Listen, okay, you got to take the show.
No, you got it. Move on.
It's not my show. It's your show now.
I was just noting that I've been there. I felt like that was relevant.
Did you like it?
I did.
Was it cool?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. I mean, would you go back?
I get one bad haircut, and it's like I lose the show. I lose control of it.
Okay,
Like,
keep going. Keep going. What were you going to say?
Baylor, Kansas tonight. Baylor basketball just released a pregame hype video on their Twitter. Take a look at this, you guys. It is a top 10 matchup between number 9 Kansas, number 2 Baylor in the Farrell Center, 8 p.m. on ESPN. Come if you can. And if you can't watch on ESPN, I mean, they're only going to let like 10 people in there, but at least you'll have some semblance of a crowd. I'm sure it'll still be loud because the Farrell Center is just naturally loud. Armstrong, do you have that video?
I do.
Rock and roll, baby.
The 2 preseason choices to win the conference set to square up.
Big-time game with national implications.
They've got grown men. This is a team of gym rats. The best backcourt. Baylor's got the best guys in college basketball.
This is an ESPN Sonic blockbuster between Kansas and Baylor.
That is not fair.
With the
Is that Trey? Is that Trey's work?
No, I don't think
hope so.
No, you don't think so?
I think that
Trey
video
could do
is
that.
illegal. Like, that is... that must have taken a long time.
With the Meek Mill in the background. That was my favorite part.
What?
That was sick.
And all the people just bragging on Baylor, that may replace the hockey video as my get juiced up thing.
We have to win the game, though.
Up there.
If we lose the game, then it won't.
According to Jesse Newell, they're winning by 14. So my mind is very much more at ease now.
Celebrity birthdays! Favorite part of the show. Let's go. It is Karen Brar's birthday. He played that one guy on the Disney show Jessie. Remember that?
Oh, I do. Yes.
I don't.
Can I get that clip? Oh, I do. Yes.
I know what you're talking about, though.
I don't even know the Disney Channel had a
He's
show.
gonna be. He's gonna be like 18.
Okay. I've never heard of this show.
You have to guess too.
I have to guess.
You have to guess his age.
Oh, I have to guess his
That's
age.
how this game works.
I didn't even know this. I didn't even know Jesse was a show. So if you're guessing 18, I'm gonna guess he's 16.
He's 22. Really? The dude can drink legally.
Dude,
Okay, that's unbelievable.
Unlike Drake Toll.
True. Jason Siegel, his birthday is today. How old is Jason Siegel? He played in that Muppet movie. Am I a Man or a Muppet? That was Jason
65.
Siegel.
65.
The Muppet movie, Armstrong.
Which
Am I a
one?
man or a Muppet? Remember
Which
that
one?
song where he's like looking at himself in the mirror
Okay,
and he turns into a
45.
Muppet? Okay, thank you.
Dude, I've never heard of Jason Siegel.
Didn't you say something?
Or is it Seagal?
Neither have I.
Jason
Yeah.
Seagal.
No. I'm just.
Play the game.
Sean goes play the game. Let's go. I'm gonna go 52.
41. Good job, Armstrong. Kevin Costner's birthday is today. Dances with Wolves. Kevin Costner. Anybody?
Yeah.
He also is in Robin Hood, I think.
I'm gonna go 64.
Okay.
55.
66. Kevin Costner
Wow.
is 66.
Nailed it.
You know
Did he
that,
get
Brian
it?
Etheridge?
Brian Etheridge nailed it.
Bing, 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 bing. Okay. I don't know why
I've
I
only
make the
gotten
noise
one
when
in the
I
history of this
118.
game.
On the
This
button.
is the third week of the show. I've only gotten one on the
There's
button.
some hard games. There's some really hard games.
A. Milne.
Oh, okay.
A. Milne is the author of Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh,
Creator
yeah,
of Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, so they got to be old.
I'm going to go one. No. How old is Winnie the Pooh?
I'm gonna go 87.
87.
No, older.
A. Milne's
older.
dead.
Older.
Okay.
Older.
120. 120.
120.
Oh wait, hang on.
No. That's
Winnie the Pooh.
142. We have a 142. We have a
142. He's looking this up. Okay. All right, I'll go.
I'm gonna go 136.
What is it?
136.
139. Happy birthday to the very, very
Right in
late
between.
A. Milne. There are like
I didn't
no
know
other
Winnie the
birthdays
Pooh was
today.
that
Today's an
old.
Awful day for birthdays.
Well, James Earl Jones was yesterday.
This day, and so was Michelle Obama's.
But James Earl Jones is more important in my opinion.
Darth Vader.
Darth Vader.
He's Darth Vader. How about this?
He hit 90.
This day in sports history, Swedish tennis star Bjorn Borg claims his second straight ATP Masters Grand Prix title. The reason I say this is because I already asked you what year Bjorn Borg won his first.
Yeah,
so this
I
would
can't
be the
remember what
year
you said.
after his first. Meaning
I can't remember what you said, but I'm going to go 90.
90?
I guess the age or the year.
The year. This is
You said
this
no,
day in sports
Brian?
history.
It's like 70s, 80s, 79, Brian Etheridge says.
I'm gonna say 87.
81. Bjorn Borg.
Hey, Brian Etheridge was closest.
He's good at this game. Okay.
He's older. He was alive during that.
Deflategate, AFC Championship,
Oh, wow.
Gillette Stadium, New England, Indianapolis, final score 45-7. New England wins it. Deflategate, what year?
JD.
That was after I graduated high school. I'm going to say that's 2016.
16?
2014.
14. 2015. You guys split it. 2015. Event of interest, Larry Bird returns to Boston as the head coach of the Pacers for the first time.
Wow. 2004.
Okay.
No,
Larry
actually,
Bird
no,
returns to the Pacers.
Returns to the Celtics. He coaches a game in Boston.
Yeah, 2004.
Larry Bird coached for the Pacers.
Okay, I have no idea. I'm going to say 89.
He was playing.
When was he playing?
In 89.
He was playing in 89?
Yes.
I thought Larry Bird was older than that.
Oh, my gosh.
He was old.
Today, celebrity birthdays, this day in sports
when was
history.
that? When was that?
That was in 1998. 1998. Sorry, 1998.
Hey, I was close. 10 years. 10 years.
Wrapping it all up into one. Drake
Potato,
told
potato.
JD Bakel, Armstrong, Sims, Isaac's in the studio now. Jack's here, Brian's here. What a show today to start your Monday MLK Day. Baylor, Kansas tonight. We'll break that down. Recap it tomorrow. Another big show coming your way. Special guests coming tomorrow. Special guests coming on a Wednesday as well. We got the crazy hot Matrix guy coming tomorrow. You've got the head coach of the equestrian team, the head coach of the soccer team. Everybody's coming on Up Tempo. I'm Drake Toll. That's JD Bakel. Armstrong Sims is our producer. This has been Up Tempo.
Ideal MRI is a small family business right here in Central Texas. We're open to support you while lowering the cost of healthcare bills. When you need an MRI, ask your doctor for an Ideal MRI. Visit us at idealmri.com or call us at 833-IDEAL-MRI.
Boozers is the wedding ring store and more. If you're ready to get engaged or already married and want to upgrade your wife's ring for a special anniversary, Boozers is the place to go. With the largest selection of premier quality diamond engagement rings and wedding rings in Central Texas. They have 7 cases with over 300 styles of rings from top designers like Natalie Kay. Choose from yellow, white, or rose gold, plus beautiful top quality loose diamonds. With an in-house jewelry, they can also custom make anything you want. Bring in a picture or drawing and let Boozers create your one-of-a-kind pendant or ring. They can even use some of your old gold and diamond jewelry to create something new. At Boozers, you'll find a great selection of quality timepieces, and Boozers is the place for expert watch maintenance and repairs too. They specialize in expert Rolex watch repair for fine jewelry, watches, custom work, and more. Go to Boozers on Valley Mills and Lake Air Drive in Waco.
Boozers, the wedding ring store and more.
One size fits all. That may be all right for an adjustable belt or cheap sunglasses, but when it comes to your financial needs, no one wants a one-size-fits-all strategy. Cam Heathcott, your Edward Jones financial advisor, knows that his most important goals are yours. That's why he takes the time to understand your needs, knowing you. That's how Edward Jones makes sense of investing. Cam Heathcott, covering Conroe and Houston, 936-756-7717 or cam.heathcott@edwardjones.com. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Stepping into the boots of a U.S. Army officer can add confidence and leadership skills to your son or daughter's career path. See all the things they can achieve in our boots at GoArmy.com. U.S. Army Waco Recruiting Company, 254-598-8131 or 254-776-1543.
Riverbend Liquor and Wine has their easy-to-access drive-thru open and convenient and clean in-store location on the corner of Lakeshore Drive and North 19th Street in Waco. Riverbend Liquor has the best and most extensive variety of craft beer selections in Waco, and Balcones whiskey, including single malt, pot still, baby blue, rye, brimstone, and the all-new lineage in stock. Riverbend Liquor and Wine, family-owned and operated, and a hidden gem in Waco on Lakeshore Drive at 19th Street. And find out more on Facebook and Instagram.